turn right, turn left, who gives a when it's just a circle, you can't go the wrong way. See my boys at the pool get in the back. Off to G.O.D, never gonna pay the tab. I'm gonna need that money cause league fees up again. But it ain't gonna matter cause I plan to win. Ain't trying to place last, don't need the fail. Or I'm stepping in the ring with my boy Chainmail. That's how we do when you drive the wrong way. In the roundabouts every single day.
So we never got a chance to use that officially, Andres. It was only aired one time at Jonathan Teague's Punishment. So I figured I'd throw it on the show and never play it again.
Wait, the rap version?
Yeah.
Was it the wrestling event?
That was Teague's ring walkout music.
I thought that's right. I was thinking it was the heavy metal rock one.
No. I don't think we ever used that heavy metal rock one for anything. It was kind of a shit song. So we're going to go back to the punk one next week. Right. But who knows? Andres, this is officially season 3 of the podcast.
It's official?
Yeah. I mean, there's another fantasy football season down. So we got a couple guests with us here today. Mr. Todd Early, how are you doing, sir?
Good.
I mean, you can be honest.
I'm doing all right. I'm going to downgrade to doing all right.
Okay. We'll take that. And of course, radio professional Tim Artz. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing fantastic. Happy to be here.
We're back.
We are back. Does everybody remember how this works?
Barely.
Yeah. I'm sure that probably 20 minutes from now, I'm going to realize that I forgot to do something, but oh well.
You had the record button, right?
I did, yeah. Okay. I hit record on here. I clapped. I see red lights on the cameras. Those are recording for like the one person that watches this on YouTube. I'm not even sure. That might just be me.
Yeah.
That might be my own
my mom watches.
Oh, does she?
Yeah, she.
There you go. This is for Todd's mom. Shout out to Todd's mom. What's your mom's name again?
Joanne.
We love you, Joanne. You're our best fan that we've got. So, Andres, no way around this. It's been a while since we've aired an episode. There was actually an episode we recorded that did not air, and I'm not entirely sure it will ever air. Maybe bits and pieces.
What happened? I felt like we had a really good recording that night.
I think I got wasted.
It was still good.
I'll have to go back. That one's going to require a lot of editing.
It might be. It's not going to be topical now, so now it's pointless. But
I'm pretty sure it's the same shit that was happening then. Like, I don't know, Greenland, we're coming after that. Ice is around. I don't know. Same general stuff was applying, I think.
Was that the one I was on?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And then when they came out.
Yeah. I mean, you can probably add the ghost stuff to close that out.
Yeah.
And then, we went down a rabbit hole with the soccer league.
With Jeff Salad?
Yeah.
That's right.
We did a whole political thing. You said you weren't gonna, and then you did, and then we got down that rabbit hole that probably.
Anyways, I thought it was good too.
It was long.
It was very long.
We'll put it on the Patreon. Yeah. The 3-hour unedited episode. So guys, we got a slate of topics today to talk about. There's a lot that's been going on, but as always, let's start with our beloved sponsors, since they're the ones that make this show possible. I'm going to go ahead, even though we have Todd here, I'm going to do the Platinum Property ad. As always, it says John to make some shit up, so I'm going to do that. So I'm going to start with Platinum Properties Not Haunted. So if that was a driving reason that you were considering selecting Platinum Property for your property management needs, maybe your house is haunted.
Or not selecting them.
It's true. That could go both ways. Maybe there was people out there that creeped them out. They didn't want anything to do with it. I'm going to guess there was at least one person that said, hey, I'm trying to, get my haunted house on the market, and somebody that knows that area would be beneficial. And that's not Todd. His house is not haunted.
We're going to have to update our marketing.
Can I cut in real quick?
You may.
Is that a urban legend, or is it real that if somebody dies in a home, you have to say it in the ad or in the brochure?
In the MLS listing?
Or is that state by state?
You don't have to say. If they ask, you have to disclose it, but you don't have to say. We've had somebody's died at that house for sure. That's kind of what sparked this conversation. But you don't have, as of today, as of the recording of this.
Yeah.
Best of my knowledge, you don't have to disclose it. If they ask, then you have to answer. Yeah.
Okay.
There you go. There's already one rumor batted down.
Is there something we should know about you planning resale for your house, or?
No.
I think he's asking on behalf of Brian Fagan. What's going on at that farm? If he ever puts that out the market?
Well, I was curious because we're talking about ghosts, and he knows property, so just Because I feel like that's like a very big thing in New Jersey.
What?
Just
Disclosing
people-
of murdered.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe not.
So when we bought Platinum or 2 and 2 Kelly Mill, yeah, they didn't disclose it. We found out after the fact. Now we assumed, being that the house is 150 years old, but yeah, they didn't disclose it.
Yeah, I would have guessed 150-year-old house.
And it was a former doctor. So we probably had patients there. No, I was just saying maybe.
No, I'm with you. It's a good point. I don't know if nobody ever died in the house. It was a
Right.
great doctor, I guess. There were people that certainly died adjacent to the house, but that's another story
Yeah.
and book. Although Todd doesn't like that book. Actually, it's not you that don't like that book. It's the Forsyth County Historical Society that doesn't like the book. Todd, I have another random question for you. Obviously, so for our listeners who do have property rental needs, obviously go with Platinum Property. You got Todd. You've heard him on the show. He's been on the show a half dozen times now. I mean, do we really need to sell you at this point? Clearly, the guy knows his shit. So if you're going to rent your house out, go with Platinum. But here was my random question. I was driving down there the other day, speaking of 150-year-old houses. I'm like, there's Platinum. I saw your Buffalo flapping sadly in the wind. And then I kept driving, as you do. I didn't see your Cybertruck out there, or I would have stopped by to commiserate with you. But then there's Reset Roofing right down the road. And they've got like a 150-year-old house too. Isn't that house also original?
It is, but it isn't. So when we moved in, the guy that owned the Reset building, he actually walked over to our place and said, "Hey, can you help us? Can you help me rent it?" He had tenants in there when we moved in. We didn't know that, but
So it was not Reset at the time.
no.
Yeah.
And he actually, older gentleman who worked for the city, he had a house. If you look on Kelly Mill, if you're driving that way and you look to the left, there's just a stairway. That's it. There's no house.
yeah,
left.
yeah.
He used to live there. There used to be a house there. So we didn't know he was selling that, or we would have probably looked to buy it just to have that whole chunk of land.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you ever go in, they've done a really good job remodeling the inside. I think the outside's, I don't know how old it is. Like the law office across from us,
Yeah.
that is not original. They tried to redo it, but they, I think they had termites or something, so they had to basically start from scratch. But Reset's done a really good job. He does business with us.
So have you ever talked to him? Is his house haunted?
You know, I've never asked him.
That's never come up. Do you guys have like a Facebook group for Forsyth County original homeowners?
No, but he's on there, and the girls at the Vibe Fitness are on there, and there's like a triangle of Facebook things that you kind of like. He interviewed remember we had that big skeleton in our yard?
Yeah.
He interviewed that skeleton at some point. Yeah, completely random. He's a good guy, but and then the Vibe Fitness girls, they've used our back building, West Maple, for some gym classes.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Had I known they were looking for a spot, I would have offered that up.
I bet you would have.
Yeah, I mean they actually did a class for the ladies in my office. That was the connection, and then they took the building over there where Page Graphics is or was.
Do you know if Vibe Fitness does Zumba lessons by any chance? Because I know someone who might be interested.
I think they could hook you up.
I looked at the sign. They don't.
They do not.
They do a lot. They're high energy. They're really nice.
Okay.
I like that little, like you said, the little triangle during Christmas, the signs each day and stuff.
Yeah.
That was good.
Yeah, and the truck is usually in the back.
No, I know.
In
I
the
know. I know
garage.
where to look for the truck.
Yeah,
I think maybe you parked it further away. Maybe you didn't want visitors that day. This was right after the playoff loss.
Let's figure out the Foster house. Why is that just sitting vacant?
Which one's that one?
That's
the restaurant?
the big White House. Yeah.
the guy who
It's
owned,
fake. I thought we talked about. I thought people use it again. Was I mistaken? The restaurant.
right?
Well, it was a
It's
restaurant.
open. It's not open anymore.
No,
No, it hasn't been
Oh.
open for like 20 years.
yeah.
Okay, no bad. Well, because it's got that sign that says like "Thanks for another 100 years" or something. The same lettering
No,
has
it
been there.
says thanks for the 17 years of your support and
Yeah.
blah blah blah.
The
There
guy,
were-
the guy that
Well,
sold
I'm-
us our house, he wants to buy that house.
Yeah, that's a good point. Like, why is it just? I had no idea. I thought it was open. I just never been there. It's a
No.
good point though.
It was a good restaurant when it was open. I'm pretty confident that they probably had weak health scores.
Yeah.
but
Yeah, I would guess. I never
it
went
was,
there.
It was like a bunch of old ladies cooking in the back. It was delicious for Sunday brunch after church.
Going back to Reset Roofing. So you guys are buddies then?
Yeah. I mean, casual friends. I mean, we use them
I was thinking you got like a good opportunity for like prank wars. No.
for sure. Now that's something I would keep on the down low though.
Yeah.
Like
Nobody listens to
when
this
he had
podcast.
that when he
You'll
had
be
that
all right.
Santa Claus, yeah, for sure. I was going down there to unplug that thing, that huge Santa. And now him and the girls at Vibe were going at it a bit. You know, their skeletons were pointing at each other and doing some things. And when I saw him coming to my yard to interview my skeleton, I was like, what are we doing? Like, you know, and then I posted something on his Facebook page.
What was the finished product of the skeleton interview? I assume the skeleton did not respond. Did they like
Yeah, it was a weird
dub in?
Yeah, it was kind of a weird voice, and he was asking questions, and he made a reference to Buffalo, and then I don't remember what something in the interview he said, and I responded with some dumb comment, and then that was it. Really,
Reset Roofing. They have a podcast too.
No, they don't.
They do. Remember, TJ sent it to us.
I don't remember that.
They do. They have like a whole podcast. And I watched one of his episodes. I'll pull it up on YouTube. They do.
Wow.
They've got their own podcast. And the guy's got nice equipment. Nicer than this.
This is pretty nice.
It's getting there. We're moving up in the world. You guys like the new boom arms?
Yeah,
Yes,
that's what I'm saying. This is nice.
Yeah. So you can move these. If you move the old ones, like the whole fucking world collapsed on the previous show. These ones, swing them out of the way. Get your drink off the table. All good here. So yeah, these are nice.
I just hit it with my drink.
Yeah, that's it. We're going to cut the whole section now.
Amateur hour.
Next up on the sponsor wrap, Kevin Fox at Foxy Vacations. Andres, you want to say some nice words about Kevin Fox?
Yeah, so I mean,
Actually, hold on. See, we haven't done this. I'm supposed to actually, aside from just attesting to Todd's expertise, Platinum Properties expertise in property rentals, I've got to, of course, call out the socials. If you are interested in putting your property up for rent, or if you're looking to get into a rental, go to platinumrentalproperty.com. As always, 212 Kelly Mill Road. Todd says he will drop everything. If you walk in the door, demand to see him, he'll cancel meetings, he'll hang up the phone, he'll walk out. He'll give you a tour. Multiple businesses there. West Maple, the event space back there. The Wrong Way Roundabouts have done a couple of events there. Good times. Good times. You can also give them a call, 678-710-8056. And their customer service email address is fittingly customerservice@platinumrentalproperty.com. So again, any property rental needs, boys of Platinum, they got you well taken care of. So on to Foxy Vacations, Mr. Zaya.
before we move, I will second what you said about Todd dropping everything. The very first time I walked in there, we asked for Todd, and he came right out. No questions asked. So
when we come in there and we do that, is your secretary like, Todd, who the fuck are these guys? Why are they just randomly coming by?
No, we get so many random people in there. She's been told, hey, anybody walks in, grab me, because we're small. We want to, but it's funny. The Buffalo connection is huge.
I'm sure
the Chamber of Commerce people still stumble in there from the chamber. We got the egg hunters that they want to take a picture with the eggs, and then the people that have read the book. But I walked out the other day. I heard a guy talking. He's like, "Hey, what's with all the Buffalo stuff? What's the connection?" And I heard the Trish up front say, "Oh, they're from Buffalo and this and that." And walked out there, and he's like, "Oh, my son plays for the Bills."
I remember you talking about
Yeah,
that.
I'm like, really? It was Jordan Hancock's day.
Yeah.
He's a rookie. He got some playing time towards the end of the season, but I was like, that's amazing. But yeah, we had a young kid come in the other day. He gave me his Bills, or we were in a staff meeting, and she intercepted him. But the business card he'd written on there, Bills fan, and handed it to her. Like that's the only reason for coming in there.
Awesome.
So yeah, we get a ton of people that are just Bills fans.
You guys travel.
yeah. So I actually meant to hit up Kevin because I really want a script from him, but we don't really have anything. But yeah, like we talked about the Panhandle. He's got all the rental homes, the building
In Pensacola.
in Pensacola. Yeah.
I'm late on this because this deal is over, but I was browsing through his Instagram on January 1st, New Year's Day. He had a deal actually. It was 30% off with no blackout dates, but it was a one day only, like a Cyber Monday sort of deal.
Oh,
So if you're following his Instagram, which you should,
and that's why I want to ask him. Like, I know he's got little sales that pop up here and there, but we need to get those codes on the pod.
yeah. So Foxy
Yeah.
Vacation CEO. Follow that Insta though, because he announced it was a 1-day thing, but it was 30% off any trip in 26, and there were no blackouts. I'm like, damn, that's a hell of a deal, actually. Sorry, please continue, sir.
Oh, no. I mean, it's fine. FoxyVacations.com. And like you said, Instagram, Foxy Vacations CEO. Facebook, Foxy Vacations. Yeah.
He's got a great Instagram too, by the way. He's got multiple kind of mini series on there. So we've talked about the Farm It or
Yeah.
Flip It. He had one where he was doing behind the scenes of Farm It or Flip It. Now, those Instagram videos, they're deceiving, right? I mean, they're 2 minutes long, and you think like, hey, how difficult could it be to film this? But he had a bunch of the outtakes, the drone going off, dropping the shovel, flubbing his lines at the beginning. So he showed the whole behind the scenes of one of the Farm It or Flip It's, calling to get the permission to tape there and all that. So I thought that was funny. Can
Oh, okay. Nice.
you imagine all the behind the scenes of the mistakes we made here? There's a 3-hour show we didn't even air.
Yeah.
Be a lot longer than the 2-minute Instagram video. All right, should we jump into it, gentlemen? Because we have got a lot to discuss, and we're starting late because of Andres. I'm just kidding. We'll scroll through the show notes here. So we'll start with the first one. Andres, do you want to announce your 3rd championship in the Wrong Way Roundabouts Fantasy Football League?
I'm too humble. You go for it.
I gave you a nice. Did you like my speech that I gave you?
That was a very magnanimous speech. I was like, my jaw dropped. How you kept going and going. I was like, okay.
Oh, I'm happy for you.
It was, yeah.
It's a big
I
accomplishment.
appreciate you.
First 3-time champion, first back-to-back champion. I mean, it could be years if that feat is ever repeated again.
Yeah.
How do you feel about your odds for a 4th?
I feel good.
You think it's going to happen? If the draft were today,
He
who
hasn't
you
even
take?
picked a team, and you haven't even picked a team yet, and you've already given yourself the trophy next year.
I'm just busting balls.
It's the vibes. Who would be your number 1 overall pick, Andres?
Oh. Well, that's why I don't pick number 1 anymore. That's when I lost. Last year I won 8th. This year I won 7th. That middle area is my sweet spot.
I can't tell if you're kidding or not.
No, because I won the combine this year and I picked the 7th pick.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's just too much of a lag all the way back. Because there's some like when your boy Jamar Chase, he has no quarterback for 3 games.
Yeah.
That's a big hit. But at least you can even it out if you're not missing a player in the middle.
Yeah, but I mean, you also make the argument too. I mean, I did pick first this season, and sure, I went first, and then I had to wait, 11 more picks before I went again. But then I got to pick twice right in a row.
Yeah, but then again, your forfeit. I mean, so I don't know. If I had to pick first, I really like CMC, but he's hard to trust with his injury history. He's 1 year he's healthy, 1 year he's hurt, 1 year he'll win you the league 1 year, he'll tank you the next year. So I don't know.
Oh, you know what? That reminds me. And what reminded me was because
Probably Bijan. Sorry, probably Bijan though.
Bijan.
He doesn't get banged up. He's still pretty young. He doesn't get.
Yeah, I think he'll be the consensus number 1 overall. But we forgot to mention here, not only is Andres the first back-to-back champion, not only is first and only 3-time champion, you also pulled off the father-son combo. Your son, Austin Zaya, is the champion of the Fantasy Kids League.
Yeah, I got a bone to pick with Jonathan Teague. He finally doesn't do the end of the year for the kids because and Austin wins it all. He doesn't want to give him a little shout out.
Why you picking the bone with Jonathan Teague? They got their own commissioner there, Weston. He's a grown man now. Have you seen him?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm scared to, get on his bad side. Did I tell you about Halloween?
No.
So I'm sitting in the driveway at Halloween. The kids are walking by. This is Jonathan Teague's son, Weston. And, I've known Weston for years. Always, nice, polite little kid voice. And I'm sitting in the driveway, and this man walks up to me, and he goes, "Mr. John, when are we doing another podcast?" I'm like, "What the fuck?" Here, take my wallet. Just get out of here, man. You can have all the candy. And he was wearing a hat too. And I looked at him for a second. I'm like, what? Weston Teague? The voice has dropped. It's gotten bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's like, yeah, all the kids, man, they're growing up. So yeah. So you got to take this up with Weston. He's the commissioner.
All right.
And he's he's a responsible adult at this point.
Yeah. I'll do that.
I will say Alex has also complained about the kids league and the lack of a formal
Oh, yeah,
events.
he was telling me about that when I drove him to school the other day.
Yeah.
He was like, "Yeah, it's boring. Like nobody talks." And he was like, "I got kicked out of the soccer one too," because I was telling him how Austin really wants to play FPL.
Yeah.
He doesn't really care that much about fantasy football, even though he won. But I was like, "Oh yeah." But then Alex was like, "Yeah, but I got kicked out twice."
Well, they start their own league then.
No, he got the chat. I mean, he wanted to be part of the chat.
Oh, yeah. Well, he can't be part of the chat.
Well, I mean, I think it would be good because at least we would actually talk there.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, no, he was. Yeah, it's funny.
Man, the Zayas, you guys are just killing. What a year over here. Did Allison? Was she like a pickleball champion or anything? At least can we add her into this? Oh my God, Zayas.
She won some big tournament in Macon 3 weeks ago.
Look at you guys, the golden family of Thorngate over here. So
Yeah.
Allison, congratulations on your Macon pickleball championship. Austin, congratulations on winning the kids fantasy football league. Andres, of course, 3-time back-to-back champion.
Besides you, Tim, and TJ, you guys were nice. Everybody else was booing me during my speech. What is the point of asking me to do a speech if everybody's going to boo me?
To boo you.
But you don't ask somebody to do a speech to do that.
No, they wanted the impetus. They can't just boo you randomly. That's weird. But if you start, they were trying to goad you into making a speech so that they could then boo you, Andres.
Yeah,
you were too smart for them.
That's very rude.
I thought with your love of Michigan, you would understand that people hate what they're jealous of.
I mean, no, but I was asked to give. I don't want to give a speech. I'm like speech, and then it's like boo. No, it was funny, but
And with every winner of a fantasy football league, there must also be a loser.
Yep.
I don't know who it was. I can't remember. Do you remember who lost this season? Andres?
Tim, do you remember? I can't remember.
I hit the soundboard. It must not be working.
What were you trying to hit here?
I hit Jim Mora. Anyway, yeah. So, between trying to manage a team in the hospital over multiple weeks and everything else, I'm somewhat making excuses, but it turns out things didn't really go my way. A lot of injuries. I thought I had a pretty secure receiving core.
I was just about to ask you. Matt Frankel was trying to snatch away Puka while you were at the hospital.
Yeah.
Oh, man, that's just
Like, hey, if you're not dead, what do you think about this trade?
bad.
And it was quality of a Andres trade. So anyway,
I would not try to take away your best player while you're at the hospital, though. That's another level.
I like how Andres just caught a stray there randomly. The Andres trade reference.
so yeah. I mean, look, the funny thing is the stupid team came on strong at the end, and then I lost to you. And really, there was just a point in time, and I actually told Farkle this, that I'm like, look, I'm just trying to win this stupid losers bracket so that I can set the combine, or just say we're not doing a combine. We're going back to the old way of drawing numbers out of a hat.
I'm in charge of the combine this year, though.
I know.
So
In
that's-
your drunken stupor at the celebration on Saturday, you made me some commitments of giving me some.
Oh, what is this? I didn't hear about this.
Well, you know that I'm in charge of the combine.
Yes, I know
events, right?
that.
Tim Artz.
Lost in fantasy football.
All right, so let's clear up some things because Andres is already suspicious of me. I did make some commitments to Tim Artz, but my commitments were this combine is going to be a blend of physical and mental activities equally balanced. And it's partly just to avoid the TJ conundrum where he's going to win like every physical effort that we have in there. So there will be mental games, balance games, strength games. And I can't get too crazy, right? These
I
things
was saying, this might be a pretty long combine.
we got to have the runs completed. Like my goal here is everybody's run should be 3 minutes at the absolute max. And I don't think it's going to be 3 minutes. So that's my plan. But it will be different than previous combines.
What kind of mental puzzles are you thinking?
Natalie made me swear not to give you guys any hints before we started. So I can't tell you, but I have several things written down already.
But under 3 minutes?
Yeah. Well, like trivia sort of stuff.
Right.
Yeah, I'm not going to ask you to like solve an equation, or if I do, it'll be like a fifth grade
Algebra?
math. Yeah,
Yeah.
something like
Yeah,
that.
from an outsider, when you just explain that, you saying that TJ's going to win all the physical things and then you're going to go mental. Is TJ a dum dum? Is
No.
this to get out of his wheelhouse?
No, it's
No,
it's
he's
not that
not.
he's dumb at all, but it's like he's a normal man. Like, he has normal, above average intelligence, but when it comes to anything like cornhole or flip cup or any sort of like dexterity game, he's amazing at all of them. I mean, we were playing cornhole at the clubhouse. That was a good time. Thanks for bringing those boards down, Matt. And I mean, the dude's just, half of the bags he's
He's
throwing
like
in there.
Steph Curry.
Yeah, we're just sinking them.
Steph Curry of cornhole.
Yeah, but it's not just cornhole. You put him on the basketball court, and he'll sink threes. He'll sink free throws.
He can't run though. If you want to do like a sprint.
No, because I don't want to sprint.
Oh, okay.
No, I don't think anybody wants to sprint. But it will be a different, fair combine in which everybody has an equal opportunity to win. In my opinion, that's what I'm striving for, Tim. That was the commitment I made.
All right.
That I'm also going to take 15 seconds off his time.
Of his time?
Yes,
Whatever it is.
just flat out.
So, can I ask a question?
You may.
Andres is the commissioner, right?
He's
I'm the
no,
executive president of
Yeah.
football operations.
he's in the C level of the
Yeah,
league, but he's not the
TJ's
commissioner.
TJ's the commissioner.
Okay. And TJ finished pretty high, right? Based on-
No, he
No, he didn't even make the
playoffs.
playoffs.
Oh, he didn't. Okay.
Happens
he
to the
relied
best of
on-
us.
He relied on Derrick Henry too much.
Doesn't it, John?
Wait, what? What did I do?
He said he didn't even make the playoffs, and I said it happened to the best of us. Doesn't it, John?
Yeah, it's true. We all
You were sad that week last weekend.
yeah, and it was and it actually kind of almost pissed me off even more that I went on a heater after I lost the game I needed to win to get in the playoffs. I won the losers bracket, Todd. For those not watching the video, which is everybody except Joanne, I did the finger quotes in the air on won the losers bracket. Because man, what a
I was trying to win the losers bracket.
You can have my
You both
champion.
had you guys had a battle.
I'm being honest with you, I'm not even sure I looked at the score.
Oh,
I did. That sounds terrible, but it's like, I don't know, winning the loser bracket. I was mad I didn't make the playoffs.
yeah.
Would
But
you
I-
just walk off the field and not shake hands?
Yeah, man, what a dick, Carson Beck. But hey, we're gonna get to Carson Beck and Indiana's undefeated season. But Tim, as the loser for the season, so you're doing the Zumba.
Yeah, I committed to TJ. I mean, all respect to TJ. He actually reached out and said, "Look, dude, it was a rough year, and I didn't realize how severe your medical conditions were through November and December." And he actually gave me an out, saying he's happy to go out and say that there'll be no punishment this year. Kind of like
I didn't hear about that. I
Kinda
thought it was
like-
an alternative
it was
punishment.
all within text, but kind of like Andres never really did his punishment. So anyway,
Joanne will see Andres' straight face on there.
so he gave me an out, and I said no. I knew
Fuck you,
what
Andres.
what I was in for, and signed up for it, and I'll do it. Now, truth be told, I've had a few weeks. I've still never actually researched what the hell Zumba is. I know that there's some dance and music involved, and I was politely informed that I can't get up there and do the chicken dance on Saturday, but I don't really know what this is going to be. I guess I have a few months to get it figured out, because certainly not going over there in these temperatures or an ice storm on Saturday to
No.
Go
It's
do
on the
this.
Tuesday when the spring comes around. She does it at the amphitheater.
yeah.
Explain for our listeners, Zumba, it's high energy dancing to music, right?
Yeah, with typically Latin flavor, but it can be hip hop too.
Okay.
Right in my wheelhouse.
There was an offer, and I would assume TJ was the one that told me about this, still on the table. Look, you want to own the punishment like Andres did not, and be a man and do it by yourself? Cool. TJ had floated, we could all go out there and do a group Zumba song. So if you want backup dancers, the offer's on the table.
Oh, that sounds like we're leading into two songs now.
Yeah. At some point, I imagine Allison's like, guys, I actually take this seriously, and it's not going to be the wrong way roundabouts podcast.
Well, I told
in
you I'll
stage
do one.
form.
I'll do one with you. But I don't know if it takes away from you. That's why I was like, whatever you want to do.
Have you ever done Zumba before?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I mean, a few times. I never choreographed dance.
Yeah.
That'll be a different story.
Would Allison be willing to work with him?
We can work it together. Yeah.
Todd, you interested in doing a Zumba song?
I am not.
He's busy that day.
I am the least coordinated person when it comes to dancing.
So you get a couple options. One way or the other, it sounds like we're going to see you on the stage at the Cumming City Center for a Zumba song, either solo, backup dancers, whatever your grand vision for the show entails, Tim. We're going to see it roughly in the springtime.
Yep.
Okay.
I go back to what there's 100 different punishments I would have done.
Well, name
we'll
one.
get through
Maybe we can do a different one.
Comedy show.
That's funny you say that. My brother, he texted me yesterday. He was like, "Oh, did somebody ever do that comedy show?" I told him like 3 or 4 years ago that might be one of them. He's upset. He's like you. He's upset. He thinks that's like the best idea.
Yeah, I think it's
That
fantastic.
stand up. Yeah.
Quite honestly, I would have done the original punishment that Ben was supposed to do, which was to go sit in the Waffle House for 24 hours and get an hour shaved off for every waffle. you
Yeah. That'd be. I mean, we could do that.
eat. No, I'm
That's
doing
an
the
IHOP
Zumba.
thing now.
Zumba was agreed.
That's a legit thing at IHOP now.
Yeah, IHOP and Wahoo, they both doing it.
Yeah, but IHOP's
They're
got
the
as part of the
commercial.
marketing.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I haven't seen this.
Yeah.
So if you spend 24 hours at an IHOP,
You never heard of this?
No.
Period ever?
No. Well, no, I've heard. Sorry, let me back up. I have heard of the concept of the fantasy football punishment of 24 hours in a Waffle House, 1 hour taken off for every waffle you eat. But what are you talking about with the IHOP?
No,
How are
they're
they?
the same thing. They just kind of
They're
took
doing
it.
Part of the
pancakes
marketing.
instead of
They got
waffles.
they got a commercial about it now.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like, they're on board with that.
okay. I thought it was some sort of deal like, those restaurants in Vegas where you can eat like a fucking 8-pound steak, you get it for free. I wasn't sure if it was like something like that IHOP was doing.
Oh, no.
Okay. So they're referencing the punishment
Yeah.
and saying, come do it at IHOP.
Yeah.
Well, that's how bad I am. I didn't even know. Is IHOP open 24 hours?
I was thinking the same thing. Is it?
I think so.
I think it is.
Or most locations. Maybe not all of them.
Yeah.
No idea.
I don't think the one in Cumming is.
Well, the one in Bughead was famous for 24/7.
I'm not
It's
kidding.
closed. It's closed now, but back in the day,
Yeah. With crime scene tape.
it was all kinds of tape there.
Man, and so we got tons of show notes, tons of stories. We're actually still not done. This is what happens when you don't do a podcast for like 3 months. There's plenty more league news going on. Well, we did talk about me being in charge of the combine, so we can skip past that. But during our fantasy football wrap party, which Todd, we did not see, you went out of town. That was unacceptable.
Yeah.
You
I
have to
would
be at
have
the next
showed
one.
up. I'd have liked that. Yeah, I offered it to Jonathan too. Our spot. I think it was too late in the game.
Well, I would feel bad if you're not in town. We'll go to your spot, but you got to be there. You got to come party with us. But Todd, so before we get into Matt Frankel and BB's Bagels here, real
That
quick.
was hilarious, by the way.
Yeah, what a dipshit. We have an open league position this year, Todd, right?
I didn't know that. No. Oh, well, wait a minute. The one guy moved away, right?
Yes, Michael
He was
Christmas.
grandfathered in. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know you guys were actively looking for a new member.
We are
But we
active.
have to by the Constitution.
Yes. So this Andres is like the what do they call the archivist? So you're
The parliamentarian.
the parliamentarian. He's in charge of the rules for fantasy football. So here's the only problem, Todd. I mean, I think you're a shoo-in at this point, but you have to buy a house here.
Oh, I could do that. Is there a good one for sale?
I'm sure
I'll
there
sell
are.
you one.
What you're
1615 Nightfall Court.
well, then we're gonna have 2 spots open.
Wait, I thought, were you trying to move?
We go back and forth.
Yeah, you bring this up every year. You ain't leaving. Come on, man.
No, I heard about that, right? In Florida?
Yeah.
Yeah, we were looking.
Yeah, we just bought a house in Florida. I'll buy one in here.
Get one. There you go. If
Wait, you also threw out the idea that if we manage a couple of rentals in here,
I thought you meant like you just bought like a square foot of your yard. I thought that's where you were going with this.
Listen, I mean, you're the parliamentarian. I don't know about the square foot of the yard thing. If he buys a house in the neighborhood, that's done. There's no argument there.
No.
I had thrown out the idea if he manages a property in the hood, that's like that works too. And he does manage several properties in the hood.
You got 2. Yeah. How many?
and I do own the draft party room.
I mean, look at that.
I will say I finished third in my league, so I don't know if Andres wants any of that. You guys know I only take Buffalo Bills, though.
What do you think about Allen's draft stock next year? I think Allen's going to die on the field at some point. I'll throw that out there.
Yeah. It wasn't great. You had him, right?
No, I had him 2 years ago.
Frankel had him.
had
Oh,
him
that's
this year.
right. Jets jersey.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember talking to him at the party. Yeah, wasn't great. Yeah, wasn't great this year.
So we got to get to what happened with the Bills, but all right, let's close off league news
Wait, you didn't talk about the
with Matt Frankel.
Yeah.
That's what I
Matt
said.
Frankel.
There you go. Now that the soundboard works, now that I turned the sound up on there, Matt Frankel has been on the show a number of times, and he has always been a big fan of BB's Bagels. And he's been very boisterous and assertive that he can tell BB's that he's from New York and all that. So we actually did a blind taste test of BB's Bagels in the Bagel Hole for our fantasy football wrap party, and the results, Todd, is no, he can't. He cannot tell. He was just completely guessing, and he got 66% of his guesses wrong. Nice work over here, Tim, killing it. on the
he
soundboard.
is.
So Matt cannot tell, and then he immediately goes into blame mode. We didn't microwave them long enough. We cut them into pieces instead of them having a whole bagel.
Look at this guy.
But yeah, so Matt can't tell the difference between BB's and Bagel Hole. And then we did just kind of an informal, hands raised sort of thing. We didn't take ballots and all, but we asked everybody that was at the party to vote for who was the better bagel. Bagel Hole. So that's it. And they have like 5 stores now. So BB's, you're done. You're dead. And BB's is going to come back up later in this podcast.
Oh,
There's my hint.
little tease.
Yeah, this time they haven't actually done anything illegal that I'm aware of, but there's adjacency. But there you go, Andres. That's the fantasy football wrap up for the 2025 I guess it was only 2025 wrong way roundabout season. Congratulations on the back-to-back championship. First 3-time winner as well. And you won with your son. Doesn't get better than that. For real, Andre. So I know we give you a hard time, but that's a hell of an accomplishment. You got to be proud. Made your year, I'm sure.
Yes, thank you. I appreciate it.
And you're looking to pull it off again next year?
Yeah, that'd be awesome. I mean, so when I won again, when I won this time, it was like, oh, I won. But then when everybody at the clubhouse was like, oh man, back to back, like I was like, oh, that hit me. I was like, damn, back to back, that's crazy. So that was awesome.
And if you thought people were rooting against you this year, wait till next year, Andres. Nobody's trading anything with you at all. Not that they would anyway.
Yeah.
Those are the Andres trades. Tim throwing out the shots. So yeah, Carson Beck. So we'll talk about Carson Beck in the context of Indiana completing their undefeated season and national championship. Now I'm not, I obviously I keep up with college football somewhat, but I only know the importance and rarity of this win just from statistics I've read on the internet. But apparently Indiana's like the losingest college football program in NCAA history. And now they're an undefeated national champion.
Yeah, it's wild.
That's
It's
pretty
wild.
crazy. I saw Andres will be probably the only one in this room that gets this, but I did see somebody on Reddit. They said this is like for the soccer fans out there. This is like
Leicester City?
Yeah, Leicester City winning the Premier League. But then I saw several soccer fans that are like, I get it, I get the analogy, but no, Leicester City was still a much further long shot. But yeah, this is pretty crazy.
Yeah, both are crazy.
But yeah, Carson Beck at the end of that game. I mentioned this in our chat, Andres. You said that it was normal, but game ends. Fernando Mendoza, who's apparently the nicest man on earth. I saw that he said he's not going to be available for the NFL draft combine because he is doing a finance internship on Wall Street.
Oh,
It's like, Fernando, has anybody told you that you're not gonna need a real job?
I didn't even realize he transferred until today. I was reading stuff about
Yeah. His
he
brother,
fought for the Cal.
his
Yeah,
brother
he played for
transferred
Cal.
out today too.
Yeah, he's going to Tech.
Is that where he's going?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he was in Cal as a freshman.
Yeah.
Had no idea. That's crazy.
Yeah, he was in Cal as a freshman. He transferred. He is actually a college student, unlike Carson Beck.
Yeah.
It's the golden child over there, man. And I was doing a little bit of reading about it after, because I noticed during the college football game or the championship game, they kept, cut the camera over to his parents, and his mom was in a wheelchair. I'm like, oh man, what's going on with that? So she has multiple sclerosis. they're second generation Cubans. Like actually the family immigrated over from Miami. He was playing in Miami.
Yeah.
I mean, that kid's got a hell of a story.
Well, he was saying he would get offered a walk-on position.
Yeah.
That's wild. And he's a Heisman winner. That's crazy.
Beats them, their home stadium after they passed him over.
I think both their parents won at Miami. Like the mom in tennis and the dad in like rowing crew or something.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, I think both parents won at Miami in different sports.
Oh, okay. Crazy. But yeah, Carson Beck. I thought it was sore loser shit, man. I mean, you said it was normal, Andres, but yeah.
I guess I was thinking of Bill Belichick back in the day. He used to be the biggest curmudgeon. He would just walk away, but he's a douche. Maybe that's on me. That's on me.
I was gonna say everybody acknowledges Bill Belichick is, not a great person. But yeah, Carson Beck, he just walks down the tunnel after the game. I would have gone up. If you're not going to do that, and you're not going to mill about and give everybody the bro hug and shake hands with everybody. Go up to your counterpart in the other team, especially when it's Mendoza, especially when it's the story that Indiana has. All you got to do is like, good game, man. Happy for you. That's it. And then you bounce.
Yeah, I can't find it. He had a super douchey quote on explaining why he was focused on himself and his bad play as opposed to going to congratulate the winner. Didn't feel he would need to do that. So, look, my opinion, the Indiana story is amazing, but it also, like, none of that happens before NIL.
Oh, for sure. 100%.
Transfer portals and all that other stuff.
Yeah.
So, I'm not taking anything away. I was actually communicating back and forth with some people today and made the comment. I've been part of a team that went undefeated. And I get this is a different level before anybody boos me or hits the soundboard. But, I played on football teams that were undefeated from 8th grade through my junior year.
Yeah, that's definitely not the same level.
I know. But there was, we won state championships and everything else. And the feeling was going into our senior year that we were basically the local paper and everything was saying hey, they're unstoppable. Half this team is going Division I football. And we had so much infighting and so many individuals on that team that couldn't come together that we went 1-9.
What, your senior year?
Yeah. So I give Sig a ton of credit for creating a culture where those guys believed in the cause and a ton of discipline. I give a lot of praise there, but I also go back to none of that happens without the changes that have happened to college football in the last few years.
So I'm not challenging you on this, but I mean, the NIL stuff, I don't know, Indiana, people, they're paying big NIL money.
Look up a guy by the name of Mark Cuban and look how much he donated to the sports program last year.
Okay. I mean, obviously familiar with Cuban. How give me the nut. How much roughly did he
Millions.
send? Millions?
Yeah.
Okay. So, but like Mendoza.
Well, they've always had, the boosters have always been around, like Tebow and Pickens and everybody. I thought it was more the NIL money.
Right. But he's giving millions into the NIL.
I gotta be honest, I don't understand how NIL
have to be
works.
sponsorships. They can't just give money.
Yeah, so how, if you're Indiana and Mark Cuban gives you a fucking $1 billion, right? Just hypothetically, how does Indiana then, and I'm not challenging that it's happening, literally, what are the mechanics? How do they launder that money to the players? How do they get it to them?
Because they can now, look, Ohio State has the same thing. You can donate into an Ohio State fund that then they're measuring. And Ohio State's figured it out. Hey, we'll take 1,000 people giving $50 just to go out, but then they are giving that out as sponsorship dollars for the players.
I thought, so NIL, name, image, and likeness, right? I thought the lawsuit, the Supreme Court ruling, was that the college players owned the rights to their name, their image, their likeness, and that what they were allowed to do was sell that as a property to McDonald's, to Amico, whoever it is, right? But companies, so that you could get sponsorship directly from companies. So Carson Beck's he's the milk guy, or he was, right? So the Farmers Association for whatever the hell, the milk industry, Big Milk, Like they can give Carson Beck money, but I didn't think Miami could.
So think about this. If Ohio State wants to use that player in any type of marketing material, that's the same thing as the milk company coming out and saying, we want Carson Belk to drive his Lamborghini with a milk mustache.
Okay. So if the players do any sort of commercials or marketing for the school, then they can get paid.
Right.
They can get paid whatever they get paid.
Right.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, so it's like a big slosh fund, and then depending how marketable or attractive or whatever they are, they'll get a percentage of that money. But it is in a big fund, and then it gets distributed. It's not individual contracts.
Okay. Interesting. So then what do we think happens next year? Is Indiana is this a flash in the pan, kind of like Leicester? I know they had a couple good
That
years.
doesn't seem like it. I think that coach is building something.
Yeah, and they were, when the transfer portal opened up, they've had some good grabs. I was going back, I can't keep up with the fake names in the group chat. So somebody posted out there that why would Mendoza transfer out of Indiana when he was next up to play? And I'm like, he's not going to be next up to play. They just grabbed a quarterback from TCU last week. So
that was Frankel. That talking about the younger brother?
Yeah.
So you saying TCU?
They grabbed a quarterback from TCU that was already projected that he was probably going to be the starting quarterback over Mendoza Jr. next year.
Okay.
Well, that kid from Oregon, I saw a thing where he went back to Oregon because he was projected to go in theory, go to the Jets. And Oregon,
Oh, boy.
And Oregon said, we'll pay you what you're going to make in the NFL to stay here.
Probably
and
more.
Not to go to the Jets.
That's, yeah,
And
probably.
I think the number was like $13 million.
Well, and Ty Simpson too, Alabama. He's making bank. It's crazy.
That's the paradigm shift right there. The concept that the college football salaries are competitive, if not in some cases because of rookie salary caps, if not more lucrative than starting NFL contracts.
Yeah.
You were gonna start to see, like, Carson Beck was on the picking on the guy, but you know what? Fuck you, Carson Beck. He was on the television the other day, and somebody asked him, like, did you have to study for class? And he's like, I graduated 2 years ago. They're like flaunting it at this point. You know,
He said he's a grad student.
no, not.
The dude's also living in a $5 million house.
Yeah,
I mean, Shador was making a ton of money when he was in Colorado.
I still.
Worth every penny.
Yeah, I don't.
Easy.
Legendary.
Easy. I still have a brown streak running through.
Oh man, we got your coach. How's that going to work out for us?
I would tell you that I don't think it was a coaching problem. He has some clock management issues, but that will fit right in Atlanta.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, look, I agree. NIL has changed things. I think college football is a career move now. You've already got people that are faking being students to stay in college, and that's going to become more prominent. There was the guy from Ole Miss, right? Trinidad Chambliss, who is suing to get an additional year of eligibility so he can stay in college. And I saw comments on that story about, like, well, why wouldn't he just declare for the draft? And the hypothesis is that he's worth more as a college player.
For sure.
I mean, not worth more, but it's easier money.
I mean, I guess easier money, it's guaranteed. So again, like after the Stafford contract, however many years ago that was, the NFL changed the rules on the rookie salaries on there. So like they have a maximum contract that you can get as a rookie. And it was because of Stafford. He got like $66 million guaranteed or whatever it was when he got picked number 1 in the draft. And the general managers and the NFL owners were like, this is ridiculous. It's unsustainable for the league. So they passed the year after Stafford's draft a set of rules limiting what rookies can make in the NFL.
I mean, I think it's good for basketball because those guys, you can get paid. You're not going to the NBA, right, or the G League in basketball, so there's an incentive there to stay. Where football guys, they're playing 1 year at each of these schools.
Yeah,
I mean, they should if they transfer, they should sit a year.
Yeah,
or so that they're not incented to transfer every year just for the money. Basketball, if you're a 6-man on a D1 team, probably not going to go pro, but you can make a couple $100,000, staying around. Yeah. So, these one and done guys like, Kentucky and Duke, these teams, I think those guys will stick around a little bit longer. So I think it helps in that respect. I like to see those kids stay. But football, it's the Wild West. It's going to be crazy. It's just going to get with and then the gambling angle, like so easily. You've got access now. These basketball guys got caught, and those are some D1 schools shaving points.
I'm nodding my head in empty agreement. I've never watched a single college basketball game in my life, so I have no idea what's going on in college basketball. Are they having similar issues as the college football kids?
Not as prevalent, I think, because there's less of them, right? There's only 12 guys, right? And so, but they are with some of the online gambling. I mean, they nabbed like 20 guys this week, and it was normal schools shaving points and that sort of thing. So, I think the gambling is going to be a big deal too.
I'm paraphrasing. I won't do this justice, but somebody in the age of AI and the internet gave me a good chuckle because Ohio State, surprisingly enough, is not a big basketball school. But somebody took the Department of Athletics logo and memorandum sheets and put something out on Facebook that basically said, look, we're appalled at these actions, and we just want to assure you that nobody at Ohio State, despite how bad we are, was taking part in this. That's just how bad we are. And it's 258 days until football season starts again.
It seems like if you're a donor or an alum and you've got all that money, you'd buy the basketball team because it's so much cheaper. You got less guys. You can pay them a ton of money. Or how are these teams like these Texas teams for sure? But like to your point earlier, Oklahoma State, you got the richest guy on the planet, right? What? He can pay these guys whatever he wants. How come these schools like Harvard and Yale with these super rich guys aren't just buying teams?
Well, the Ivy League, they don't even offer scholarships. So that'll be weird to be paying people and then not even have like a ride, like a.
I mean, I'm just thinking like if you're a billionaire,
I understand that's a good point. That's crazy. That'd be weird. Like then you literally paying them to play college because they don't even have a scholarship. Like Yale, Brown, they don't offer scholarships for athletes.
Any Ivy League school?
No.
I didn't know.
It's just they don't offer athletic scholarships.
Yeah.
They have scholarships, but not athletic scholarships. Oh, okay. Is there a reason for that?
I don't know why. They just don't.
Kind of interesting.
Maybe just they want to make sure everybody gets in the 1600 SAT and 4.4 GPA or something.
I don't know if everybody has got statistics. I think they've got some selection criteria that's not always academic in nature, but whatever.
Yeah,
that's a different topic.
Yeah,
that was on the last.
I don't know much about it, but
the last podcast we could have talked about that.
Yeah,
the unaired tapes.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard about it that when they're like Harvard, they'll cruise people's students' grades, like they inflate their grades. Like, have you heard about this?
Harvard, I don't know
like
how
Harvard, Yale,
Harvard inflate people's grade, like
the standard bell curve. They shift it for a lot of undergrads. Is that what you were referring to?
No, I was referring to DEI.
Oh.
Oh.
No, because if they get bad grades, it looks bad on them.
You're saying, you're saying that the controversy continues once they're in college.
No, I think they get in legitimately when they're in there, grades get inflated.
For everybody across the board.
Yeah.
I don't know. Could be. I guess, too, if you're getting paid $150,000 a year or whatever to go to school there, they want to keep getting their check, right?
Yeah.
All right. Well, Harvard, man. Can't trust our institutions.
Moving on.
Let's move on to happier topics like the Bills.
This I want to get your take. I've been waiting on this one. How do you feel about McDermott getting fired?
Stupid fucking game.
That was Todd.
Floor is yours, Todd.
I mean,
what were you doing before we get into McDermott, which I am definitely interested in McDermott? Where were you? Walk us through. Paint us a word picture of your night when the Bills went out. It was very sad at the clubhouse. We were all watching.
So I was getting texts from everybody, but all season, right? We're a second half team.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking we're good, right? We're fine. We did come back. I was watching with my boy who's really into it. He's me at 20, like when I was 20 and we were going to 4 Super Bowls. He's exactly the same. every play, pulling his hair out. I've seen this story. I know the ending of the story. I could have told you what was going to happen.
Yeah, and this is dark.
This is so. We're watching, and I say we're going to be fine. Get a score, get a stop, get a score. We're good. Get it at the half, double up, whatever it is. Just trying to calm him down. And so calls aside, if I'm looking at it objectively, we didn't do enough to win, right? Bad call, good call. It just depends on whose side you're on. The couple of PIs, whatever. But watching the entire game, you guys probably weren't watching play by play because you were at the party.
We actually were. We were locked in that fourth quarter.
Yeah.
I mean, early on though, you got a couple of drops. You got Cook fumbled, momentum completely shifted. Josh throws a pick. Josh, at the end of the half,
That was a killer.
crazy. So that's Bills football. That's how it goes. Did I think we were gonna win? Yeah. When we got that call overturned on the interception,
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, this is trash. And then the PIs and whatnot. So I've seen it before. Nate was my boy. He was upset. So fast forward, you're just thinking, all right, man, like I'm trying to rationalize it. I'm on Instagram seeing what people are saying or X, and people are basically saying refs this and refs that. You want to just find some kind of common somebody to commiserate with you. And but I mean, it's a tough one. It's like the 13 seconds game because it's like we had it. You see what happened to the Patriots in Houston. I'm thinking, man, we could have cruised by either of those teams, in my opinion. And then, hopefully Seattle wins it all.
So you're pulling for Seattle?
I'll take any NFC team. I can't see the Patriots win.
I'm going for Rams at this point.
I'll take either NFC team. I like them both. But that said, I mean, with McDermott, I think the fans. So I've watched a ton of this stuff and try to get clips, who said what, who did what. I think if you poll the Bills fans, they're probably 80-20 on the side of McDermott, and they think Brandon Beane should have went. We didn't have the roster, right? We had a lot of injuries though, so I think most people think the culture McDermott built in Buffalo overrode the roster we had. So end of the day, I think most Bills fans are like, something had to change. We've been 6 times. We can't get over the hump. I think McDermott's a good coach. I think he's a good guy. If I'm being objective and looking at his whole body of work, there's a ton of things in there that you question. 3 years in, people were saying fire McDermott.
Yeah.
And then, like right before the new stadium, you're like, man, this guy's going to miss out. Now, I think it's a good job. I think it'll be interesting who we get. I think it's the best job out there. You got Josh, you got the new stadium, you got like the fan base is crazy. Like we're loyal. Immediately after that, Bills Mafia starts donating like we always do. And so I was watching to see, I knew that would come up. Who are they going to donate? It's like almost they cope with stuff by donating. We donated to Andy Dalton when he broke the playoffs, drought for us, and donated to Hamlin for sure, and all these guys, and everybody's donating to skin cancer, which is a McDermott thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I haven't seen if it's taken off, but in my opinion, we need to do something. So we'll see who we get. So there's a press conference tomorrow at 10 with Bean and Pagula, the owner. So it'll be interesting to see what they say. A lot of people are saying it's too soon. A lot of people say McDermott had criticized the roster and got a little defensive, like, hey, I can only do so much with this, this team.
Yeah.
And I think that rubbed them the wrong way. Of course, it's going to rub Bean the wrong way.
I almost feel like the Bills waited a day too long to fire, if they were going to do it. Because it's like, yes, Stefanski's gone, which I'm not saying you would have wanted, but Harbaugh, I mean, he would have been a serious candidate. And like, now I don't really know who's out there. What is it? Tomlin, yeah. That could be interesting. And then the Josh McDaniel, isn't he? He's a perennial candidate.
Well, I think he just went to the Chargers.
Oh, is he? Oh, okay.
Yeah, they mentioned some of the guys that are still in it, Kubiak and Webb, I can't imagine that'd be a good deal for anybody. That guy, he used to be a Bill. I think he's the quarterback coach in Denver or something, offensive coordinator or something. So they've listed like 3 or 4 guys. I'm leaning towards tomorrow at 10 o'clock. Like they have somebody.
Check Polymarket. Those guys always have the inside
Yeah.
information.
Yeah, I think the fans just they don't even know what they want. They want to get the Super Bowl or bust. And when you get Josh Allen, I mean, like you got to win.
So here you go.
Your team's Tim's. You're the Browns.
Yeah. I mean,
And the Packers.
yeah.
So I mean, we were the Browns 10 years ago. Same thing, same quarterback problems. We have the same T-shirt you guys have with 20 quarterbacks on it. We landed Josh, and our whole plan changed.
Yeah, but the problem is the Browns fan is we thought we had Josh going all the way back to Tim Couch.
Yeah, yeah. Well, no, we thought we had it with. I mean, when we subbed out Flutie in the playoffs in the Music City Miracle, like
You brought up Tomlin. There's a bunch of rumors going around that he's going to be the defensive coordinator for Tennessee. Have you seen any of that?
No, he would take a lower position.
Just waiting to ruin Todd's day here in a second.
Uh-oh.
so to your question, who am I looking for? I said this to my boy, and he was like, he almost punched me in my face. Belichick.
I think Belichick's been kind of hard done by. He's a DB, right? And I don't mean defensive back, but he was clearly a successful head football coach. But Todd, I got to tell you this because you might need to leave the podcast and go comfort your son. 5 hours ago, the odds on Polymarket spiked that Brian Daboll is going to be the next Buffalo Bills coach.
Who?
The Giants.
Giants. He was our OC. Now they say he's the one that brought Josh around, right? I always disagree with that because you look at we had your guy, didn't we? Didn't our guy go to you, Dorsey? Didn't he go to? Did he?
Yeah.
Go to, yeah. So what did he do there? Same thing he did with us. So Daboll's from Buffalo. That's his angle.
Oh, okay.
And I think the guys liked him, right? But I think the fans would be okay with that.
Really? I think after the New York shit show that I don't know.
If you watch, did you watch the HBO? Behind the scenes?
No. Hard Knocks or whatever. it is?
Yeah, because the GM came from Buffalo too.
Okay.
And when you watch it, and did you watch it?
No.
At some point, Mara's like, we cannot lose Barkley. He's a fan.
Oh,
favorite.
I saw that clip went viral. Yeah.
And then and you're watching, you're like, and then the next episode they lose him, and then he's committed to a certain draft pick who's not there when they draft. So like, okay, we'll take. It was like when the Sabres draft couldn't get Connor McDavid, and they're like, oh, we'll take Jack Eichel, and like it was like a consolation prize. I'm like, how does this guy still have his job? and so he still has his job now because they showed him, and so I think there was a disconnect between him and Daboll. I think Daboll liked. I think he likes the quarterback now. And I think there was some kind of deal where I read the UPS guy. I asked you this if he does this neighborhood. He does Platinum. He's a huge Giants fan, young kid. So I'm always talking Giants stuff with him. And he had a Daboll shirt at one point, and like he'd come over there to the garage and watch the games. And I was like, I can't stand Daboll. When he left, just because he got a lot more credit, I thought that he deserved with us. But then did he win Coach of the Year in the Giants that first year? I think he was pretty close. If he didn't,
Oh, did he? No,
Yeah.
I have no idea if he did. I only really know Daboll from his firing this year after.
But it would make sense because if it's that quick, because Bean and Pagula have connections with him, and if they announce that tomorrow, I don't think the fans would hate that idea. If you wanted some entertainment, call or listen to the Buffalo radio station after a loss, and you hear these unhinged blue collar people spewing out all this stuff, and it's crazy. So that's what I did the other night. I said, Nate, I'll make you feel better. Listen to this. And these guys just start calling in about the most random. It's a strength guy. We had guys injured during the offseason. This guy sucks. Like, we have no basis for our, it's just been pain and suffering the whole time. 4 Super Bowls. That's what I said to Nate. I'm like, dude, live through 4 Super Bowls. Like, you know how many remotes and lamps I broke during those 4 years?
At the apartment. You were telling
Yes,
us.
yeah. Furnished apartment.
At the furnished
They
apartment.
did not charge my security deposit, and we talked about that Platinum window. I grabbed my roommate was a Giants fan. Goes wide right, and I'm like, bam, throw that lamp. Yeah, that was the closest we've ever gotten. So, yeah, God, the Bills. I mean, we're not the Jets, thankfully. We're not the Browns, thankfully. But
Have we had enough NFL talk, gentlemen? Do we want to cover the head coaching hires of Kevin Stefanski? Who I think is probably being a little unfairly maligned. I know a lot of Falcons fans are not super fired up about him, but I mean, we have a Browns professional here. I mean, you said it earlier in the podcast. The Browns' problems have not necessarily been coaching problems.
Agreed.
So you think he'll do all right? Can't do any worse, right?
No, I think I think he comes in. He's going to have a lot of support. I know. I'm sure there's a lot of people around Atlanta right now going, "Oh my goodness!" Like, didn't know McDermott was going to become available. Lost out on Harbaugh, and they feel like he's kind of second place. But I think it'll be he does build a good locker room, so I think it'll be a positive impact.
Here's my prediction for the Falcons. The bigger mistake they made was hiring Matt Ryan to be the president of football. And I like Matt Ryan, not saying anything negative about the guy. And he was just a legend for the Atlanta Falcons. But I always go back to soccer. Where's my Jim Mora quote here?
I am not an English soccer fan.
I know several people tuned out when they heard me mention soccer, but this is the soccer equivalent of hiring like a club legend to be your manager over there. It almost never goes well. I mean, you get the odd Zidane at Real Madrid, but for the most part,
to be fair, you could have won Champions League with that roster.
Yeah, anybody could have. You're exactly right. But putting Matt Ryan at the forefront of, is it a failed program or a failing program? Are we still kind of in the process of failing? I think he's doomed. And Matt Ryan is a great quarterback, or was a great quarterback. I don't think anybody would really argue with that, but I don't know what credentials does he have to be a president of football? Why is he going to be successful at this job? Just because he was a good quarterback?
I think that has to play out a little bit more for me, because I mentioned the Blue Jackets earlier. The Blue Jackets have brought tons of, Nash has a position within the Blue Jackets. They have another half a dozen guys that are on hockey operations staff. None of them have any say or any authority in anything. So we'll see what the quote unquote president of football it really means there. But I guess I'm in the camp that believes that the strings are being pulled by others all along. And
well, I'll tell you, whoever's been pulling those strings, though, fire that guy. I don't know that was I think it's Arthur Blank. I think he's more involved than he should be in the program.
Well, I think that's universally. Well, I shouldn't say universally, but I think he is built from the same model as the Cowboys.
Yeah, Jerry Jones. Yeah, exactly. So I don't know whether or not you actually have to hope that Matt Ryan is a natural at this and can turn things around, because if he is just a figurehead, I would argue that's worse. That means that the rot that's led to the current situation is still there. So my prediction is that Atlanta is still a shit show next year. And then Matt Ryan, who is loved by the organization, he's going to end up getting to be the scapegoat, and people are going to get pissed off at him because he didn't turn the program around. So I think it was a mistake to hire Matt Ryan. I don't really have a firm opinion on Stefanski. I don't know if he's a good coach, bad coach, but Atlanta has a quarterback problem still. I mean, what are we doing? We going with Kirk, Penix? See the long term? Neither of them seem very good. Draft another first round quarterback.
That whole conspiracy theory network says that Stefanski will go back to Kirk. They had a history together in Cleveland, so we'll see.
Kirk Cousins was in Cleveland?
Yeah.
I thought he was with Washington. And then Minnesota. He was in between?
Yeah.
All right, enough with the NFL. It's over. Well, I guess it's not. I guess we still got the championship
Got
game.
a couple of games coming up.
Yeah, some conference championships. A little game called the Super Bowl.
I'm with Todd. Either NFC team, preferably Seattle, just because LA just won it. But the cherry on top would be Sam Darnold winning a Super Bowl. It's like rubbing a bat's face. He hates that dude so much, and he helped me win my title. So I'm pulling for Sam Darnold.
Robbie, I'm with you, buddy. Patriots all the way.
Oh, really?
At this point, yeah.
Oh
Well,
man.
look, first of all, I've got a bunch of Buckeyes playing there. I got Matt Vrabel coaching it.
Matt Vrabel.
I actually like Matt Vrabel a lot. He got hated on so much in Tennessee.
Mike Vrabel.
Mike Vrabel.
You said Matt. Both of you guys said Matt.
No,
I'm going to go to the tape.
he definitely didn't.
You
Maybe
both
I did. No, but he got done dirty in Tennessee. He's a great coach. He should have come to Atlanta. He's a good coach though.
Vrabel.
Yeah,
Matt.
he's a great coach.
Raheem.
That's a great coach. Mike's just a good coach.
Raheem Morris. As somebody who knows nothing about football, when he got announced, I was like, this is going to end in disaster. And it
Yeah,
did.
somehow you knew a lot about him.
Yeah. He coached the Falcons. He was our defensive coordinator at one point. He was on the Falcons coaching staff.
But didn't you say he
Then he went to Tampa Bay.
the Rams, right?
And Raheem Morris. Yeah, I know him from Tampa Bay.
Oh, okay.
He was the head coach over at Tampa Bay for a while. So I knew that was going to end badly, and it did. So anyway, you guys have your bread and milk for the weekend? Because you're not going anywhere. Am I breaking news here? You all know there's going to be a massive ice storm this weekend, right? And we're going to die.
I'm not too worried about it.
So what happens in Platinum? I assume you guys are not going to be doing drive-thrus on the weekend anyway, right?
Actually, Meredith is out there. Yeah, she's got some stuff on Saturday. I mean, if there's an emergency, whatnot. But, yeah, man, you're talking to someone from Buffalo, right? Like weather,
And you got the Cyber Beast.
truck, not the Beast, but yeah, it'll.
What is it? A Beast, a different vehicle?
Beast is like next level.
Oh, I didn't know that. I thought that was just like a nickname for the Cybertruck. It's
Yeah,
an
that's
actual different model.
So Shador drives the Beast.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah,
What's the difference between the Cyber Beast and the Cybertruck?
the Cyber Beast is faster. Yeah, more expensive.
I have a feeling your Cybertruck can get anywhere it needs to go this weekend.
Yeah, we'll try it. You want to go?
Yeah. I'll go with you. If we get ice storms and you're driving, come pick me up.
I'll just send it for you.
We'll go to Applebee's, get Dollaritas.
So it's going to hit on Thursday through Sunday, or what is it?
So it's starting in the Midwest, Texas. It's going to hit. And yeah, that's
That's
going
not
to
the Midwest,
what would you call that?
the Southwest, or
Texas?
the middle. Midwest is like Iowa, Kansas, Wisconsin.
Okay. I mean, I hear you. Northern Texas. I can kind of consider it the same area. Sorry, the South.
Take his merit badge away.
Okay. You make me think of that line from Anchorman now where he talks about there being rain in the Middle East and he's pointing he's pointing over like Kansas, Nebraska and stuff.
I'm actually not aware of this.
Really?
No, I'm
That's
not.
a big storm coming. I just didn't know when it started. That's what I was asking.
Like, and I only said that to be, not to be douchey, but like when they talk about storms around here, I've been here long enough to know that.
No, this is a real one.
So it's not like, what was that once? That Armageddon.
Snowmageddon.
Snowmageddon.
Like I grew up where we were sledding out the upstairs windows in Buffalo one time in 1977. The snow was that high. You had to sled out of the top windows. Like,
So I was never, I spent some time in New Jersey. So, I've seen my fair share of snow, not Buffalo style snow, to be fair, with your lake effect craziness. I wasn't even here for Snowmageddon. I was in New York when that happened. But the difference is between what happened up in the Northeast and what happens down here. And you know this. It's the ice, man. These roads freeze.
And the equipment.
Yeah, the equipment.
Right.
the equipment for sure.
So, but you did not know about this. So this is legit. This is the combination of two events that are happening. We're getting another one of those polar vortex, like downward pushes from the Northwest Canada. I'm just trying to screw that up for Andres, but we're getting a southern push of cold air, and then there's just a precipitation system that's going to be coming out at the same time. So they're going to hit, and it's going to be cold as shit, and we're going to get lots of snow and freezing rain. We're not going to get the snow from the models that I've seen. We are going to get the wintry mix. So we're going to get the cold rain and maybe a little bit of snow, but then we're going to get the overnight freezing temperatures. And
Well, we're getting sleet.
yeah, we're going to get sleet.
Yeah.
But it's going to be, for our area, it's going to be the perfect storm of just ice and frozen roads. And when it's supposed to begin, starting in the Midwest over there in Texas on Thursday. It's going to be coming into Tennessee, Alabama area on Friday. We are supposed to see it Saturday afternoon. And then Saturday and Sunday supposed to go through and even a little bit into Monday.
Really?
Yeah.
So no school Monday, probably.
Yeah. I mean, they're talking about, when I say they, the weather nerds on Twitter, but I did actually see Brian Kemp referencing that they're already taking preparations because they think this could be an event where it's like the roads are unusable for 2-3 days.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the equipment. What do they use in Ohio? Sand or salt?
Pure salt.
Yeah. So, I mean, they don't use salt down here. That's why the cars are rusty up there. It used to be, at least. But, yeah.
I mean, we do have salt. We do use salt here. We do have salt
We do have
trucks.
salt? I thought it was just sand and dirt.
No, we have salt trucks in Forsyth County, and you will see them out from time to time. They're rarely used, but we do have them. Yeah. We put salt on the roads. So this looks like something's going to happen. I don't think this is not one of those weather events where nothing happens. We'll get something. But whether or not it is a Snowmageddon style, 400 frozen and people are walking 10 miles home, I don't know if it's going to be that bad. But at least we appear to be calling
you're
it.
gonna have the advantage that it's happening over the weekend, so it's not going to be anywhere near that bad.
And we know ahead of time.
Yeah.
That day, it was like nobody thought it was going to happen. Everybody left work at 12.
Yeah.
That was half the problem.
You say that, but yet, I mean, look, I was down here visiting, but I was hosting customers here that were flying in that day from Minnesota. So they're walking around watching a 1/4 inch of snow blow around on the sidewalks going, what the hell is going on here? But anyway, now it seems like everybody, like if you watch all of the clippets for the different news stations, they were all the ones that had it right. So
You mean for back then?
Yeah. So anyway, we'll see. But to your point, nobody's going to be breaking out of the office at noon and jam up the freeways and everything else.
So are they saying no work on Thursday and Friday?
No,
It'll be fine here. Texas. So it's basically going to hit Texas on Thursday. It's going to get into Alabama and Western Tennessee on Friday. It's going to hit Metro Atlanta Saturday.
Also known as the Northeast.
The Southwest Passage.
Yeah, I remember like that. I just remember that day because I think I was the luckiest person. I kept checking Google Maps, and my route back home was like against everything, but everything was bleeding red on Google Maps. It was crazy, and that was like I was like, no, I'm not letting my kid sleep at a daycare. Like I'm getting a guy in Austin, and that was it took me an hour, a little bit longer than normal, but I was so lucky. It was crazy, but it's like. Post office closed, schools closed, everything closed at 1. That's what everybody's like boom out at the same time. It was crazy.
There's a guy I work with, and our office is Hammond Drive, King and Queen building. He got caught in it. He drove up to made it up to exit 9, left his car, and walked home from Haynesbridge.
To where? Here?
To here, yeah. He lives in Polo Fields. So what is that? I mean, that's got to be 10 miles.
I would say 10 miles. Yeah.
If
Stock up on your pasta and toilet paper.
Get your pasta. We're gas stove here.
It's eggs, milk, and bread.
Yeah.
That too.
Look, I don't know when it's going to air, and I may ask you to cut this section out, but Dana's beside herself. Now, you'll be the only person that gets this. She lived for 4 years in Bradford, Pennsylvania, and she is terrified of what the hell's going to happen here. And I'm like, I don't get it. But like we are going out to dinner tomorrow night, and she's like, look, after dinner, we need to go to the grocery store. Yes, because I may starve to death. And then I looked at her and said, if things get really bad, you can just carve a piece off me. Anyway.
Somebody's throwing turkey over your back fence.
That's right.
Yeah, whoever that is. And get some of their leftovers.
There you go.
I still have an industrial-sized box of toilet paper from March of 2020 when COVID hit. So if you guys need toilet paper this weekend.
You bring that up a lot. Why how come you never used it?
It's because it's crap, like half ply.
He's saving for the
sandpaper.
kids to use for toilet paper.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was brutal.
I'll sell it.
If I knew that we were bringing gifts, I got a pack of Angel Soft from my office in my car. I should have brought that in, and I could have, competed with cups. And
yes, Todd brought you another gift. We got a platinum branded, like the Yeti cups.
Oh, Nice.
Actually, we upped it this time. Meredith donated a West Maple one. You guys are gonna have to fight over who gets which one.
I'll take the West Maple one. I called it dibs. So yes, this is legit, Todd. This is really happening. How bad it will be is anyone's guess. But if Meredith is out doing rounds, give her the Cybertruck.
Well, now the truck will I've not seen this, but the truck is supposed to power the house. It has not gone off since we've owned the truck, but it'll power the house for 3 days.
I mean, what are the mechanics of that? Like, you just plug it into an outlet and it powers it? Like, how does that work?
There's a box in the wall next to the breaker box, Tesla, and the basically it senses this box is out and it converts the power to this one, and then it sucks the power from the truck via the charging port.
Holy crap, that's crazy.
Yeah, I've never seen it work, so I'm always like, man, I want the power to go out. I want to look across the street and see everybody dark and be like, hey, it's working.
Well, you may get your chance this weekend, Todd. So if you're out and about, come pick me up. Like I said, we'll do Dollaritas at Applebee's in the Cybertruck. Andres, this one is for you. You're the only member of the board we have now. And Tim and I, we're veterans, so we can call you out. The dues are $870 this year. Can I just comment for the record? I am absolutely shocked. I feel like when I was on the board, because I raised dues the 2 previous times, this would have been, a 50 comment Facebook thread, people bitching about this. I haven't seen anybody mention anything about it.
Yeah, everybody was like, okay. I think one person mentioned it.
Yeah. So
they were like, oh, why do we need saltwater pool? I don't even go to the pool.
So $870, Andres. What are you doing with our extra
saltwater pool?
Okay.
Can I call a friend?
No. You're on the board. What's your role on the board? Do you have a position?
Director
of operations.
So if you're a director, that means you do not have a position.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I don't know what I mean. It seems like
I want my money back.
they did all the landscaping. I think they're trying to get some of that back. But the reserve fund looks really good now. That lady, Sarah Dixon, she's doing a good job as treasurer. She's on top of it with the money. I don't know.
That's easy when you just ask for more of it.
Right.
We got an expert here, Todd. What are like $870 or our
He's
HOA
going to
dues?
tell you that's a great deal.
Well,
right?
that's why I'm asking him. Is it a great deal? What are the normal? Because I know we're going to talk about another neighborhood that I'm going to move to because of Andres.
You're going to move there?
Yes, because you're mismanaging our money. Todd, what are the HOA fees normally in neighborhoods around here?
I've seen them as low as, you mean, what's that money?
No. Just
the
what do
range.
this is our annual assessment, $870 a year to be a member of the Thorngate Homeowners Association.
I've seen them as low as 300, and for that you're getting landscaping around the front sign, and I've seen them as high as 5,000.
Yeah.
And you're getting internet and landscaping at your own house, that sort of thing. So,
Garbage pickup.
Ours is a little north of that. So I know when they're talking about ours, it's definitely landscaping. The reserve is, replacing the pool furniture every couple of years. Cameras around the pool for when the teenagers decide to throw a crazy party.
You led me off. You talked about $5,000 a year in some of these communities that.
But that's like you say full amenities, like a gate, maybe.
Yeah, gate. No, like manned gates. Nice clubhouses, full amenities. Mostly it'd be like a retirement community.
Yeah. So I wanted to bring this up. I'm on Forsyth News and I'm like trolling the bottom of the barrel on Forsyth News, trying to find some news stories. There's we'll get to. There's a couple interesting ones. Nothing crazy is happening in this county. Go ahead and tell you guys that ahead of time. But there's like this section of Forsyth County News that I never click on, and it's called magazines. And I'm like, what the hell is this? So I click on the magazine section. And, they got the periodicals if you want to sign your kid up for like the rec, climbing or clubs or whatever they got, the summer sort of stuff we all put our kids in back in the day. But what they also had, interestingly, were these magazines that HOAs publish for like their larger neighborhoods. And I only saw a couple on there. There was one for Windermere, there was one for Hamilton Mill, and there was this one for Cresswinds at Lake Lanier. So have you guys heard of Cresswinds at Lake Lanier?
No.
I want to say we managed one in there.
So it's a retirement community. I ended up finding that out. This is off Brownsbridge, large neighborhood. It's on both sides of Brownsbridge Road. But I'm like looking through their HOA magazine. They publish 6 of these a year. They send them to every homeowner. They're all sponsored, doctors' offices and dentists and realtors and all that sort of stuff. But man, this was the most organized neighborhood I've ever seen in my life. I'm going through the magazine. I mean, dozens and dozens of clubs. And I put it in the notes here. A lot of the clubs have their own board of directors just for the club. I put in here, they had a video production club. This neighborhood is filmed a movie and they are screening it for the neighborhood. They've done all like the sound design and post-production with volunteers from the neighborhood. There's multiple different book clubs. The investing club, there's a section about how you join these clubs in the neighborhood. They have a waiting list to get in. They got a weekly trivia night that they do in their clubhouse. Their clubhouse has a card room. It has a library, has a presentation room, has all sorts of stuff. But I go through this magazine. I think I got some screenshots. So this right here, this cover of their magazine was hand painted by one of the people that lives in Cresswind at Lake Lanier. They have their own artist hand painting the covers. Here's a list of just the committees, guys. These are not the clubs. They have an architectural review committee.
Well, we did too.
Well, so I took this screenshot because I thought it was funny. This whole article, I'm not going to make you read this, but this is about how they have released 2 additional architectural review forms because the main one is 5 pages long. So they've released simplified versions of the architectural reviews specifically for painting and roofing, really on top of it, these guys. So they have 3 separate EIR forms. I think that stands for External Improvement Request on here. So they got an architectural review committee. You're right. We have that too, Andres. Big effing deal, Cresswind. And I'm sure we could find somebody to paint our own cover or use ChatGPT. But do we have a Trails and Pathways committee? Do we have a Welcome committee? Look at the Welcome committee. Look at it. They have an orientation for new residents.
That's impressive.
That move in here. They have a community fair. This is the Welcome committee over here. Look, they welcome the neighbors by name. There's everybody that's moved into.
How big is this place?
I couldn't get an exact count on the number of homes, but it's both sides of Brownsbridge Road. I mean, it must be, it's got to be 600-700 homes, I would think. It's got to be 3 times the size of Thorngate.
Does this have like a big waterfall in front of it?
It does. And you'll notice that's why their magazine is called The Waterfall.
Okay, gotcha. I missed that.
At Cresswind. So they got a welcome committee, but we're not done. We're not good. They got an education committee. What happens at the education committee? Well, you can learn about North Georgia's hospice care facilities. That's probably relevant if you're in a retirement community. Drew Ferguson, he's updating his artificial intelligence session. You got fire marshal representatives. They're going to show you how to use your fire extinguishers at home. Look at that. Fran Stewart, she's returning for an encore. They requested an encore of her, quote, After I Die presentation. And then basics of elder law and the history of Northeast Georgia. This is the education committee. We're not done. I said they had a welcome committee. Well, they also have a social committee. Those are, look, we would club those together. We would take Jenny Gardner. We'd make her do it all. But these guys have separate committees for welcoming and socializing with people. I don't remember why I screenshotted this. There was something funny in there, but we're running long.
Dana would like to know if you think they have a budget larger than $450.
I think that they probably do. But if social committee is not your thing, don't worry. How about the community garden committee? And if you're an exercise nut, join the health and fitness committee. And if you just like order, Andres, I bet you the traffic and road use committee, of which they have 40 members, and we're saying that they need additional members, I bet you they're all on top of the winter storm this weekend. I don't think there's going to be a single problem at Cresswinds. And then they've got their landscape committee and a website committee. Those are the committees. This is for one neighborhood. Do we have any committees at Thorngate?
The social one.
Who's on it? Who's on the social committee these days? Danielle Smith?
I don't think so. I don't know. Dana was on it for a while, right?
Yeah, that's
4 years ago.
also old news.
Andres, are you sure you're on the board?
Yeah, it's his finger on the pulse of what's going on.
Ed is doing everything. We just kind of agree. We kind of approve it.
I want you to send this note to Ed. I'm like, Ed, this is how Crestwind organizes things.
I wonder how many of these committees are actually fully functioning, though. Are they just there by name?
Well,
I have a
remember,
feeling
it's
they're
a
all
retirement
pretty-
community,
Yeah,
so I have a feeling they have nothing but time.
Yeah, no, I agree with John. I think this is cringy. Like, I could not live here. Like, this would stress me out.
Yeah,
Constant eye contact with your neighbors, waving at everybody. I just want to get in and get out.
Like Stepford Wives kind of thing.
so this is where you got to read.
Perfectville.
This is where you got to read between the lines. This is how I know that not everything is nice and orderly and perfect at Crestwind. It's the clubs. Now, we were talking about committees there. There's also clubs at
Oh,
Crestwind.
man.
So I know you can't read this. The image is a little slow, but I want you to look at how many book clubs, just book clubs there are. There's one called the First Tuesday Book Club. Then there's the Second Monday Book Club. There's a Third Monday Book Club. ABC Men's Book Club. Between the stacks, Book Babes, Book Buds. What the hell does that next one say? Bookworms,
Yeah,
Yep.
bookworms.
Cover to Cover Book Club. And actually, I thought this one was clever. Credit to this person. Reading Between the Wines. That's a good name for a book club.
I would go to that one.
Yes, I would too. And then if theater is your thing, they have a theater goers book club. So the only reason to have, how many is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The only reason to have 11 book clubs in a single neighborhood is because they all clearly hate each other.
Yeah, no question.
They
There's no question.
are spinning
Screw
up
her. I'm starting my own book club.
That's exactly what's happening. And then if you read the Crestwinds magazine, there's a whole separate section for the clubs where the clubs post a little blurb about how you can contact them, who's in charge at the club, who the board of directors is. And one of these book clubs, I don't remember which one it was, and I don't want to disparage them incorrectly, but most of these book clubs are like, hey, contact Debbie, contact Gene, send an email here. One of the book clubs, their advertising blurb was just, our membership is full. I thought, why would you take an advertisement out to tell people that you can't join our club? And it's only to feel exclusive. You know, these old people, man, nothing ever changes. It clicks from middle school on down. But yeah, you can see there's multiple. Look at that.
Ukulele club.
Yeah, I'm all
Ukulele
yeah,
cups?
that's for sure.
Specifically to ukuleles.
5 different Bible study clubs.
They lost me when they didn't have a euchre club.
Shalom.
Well, you can start one, Tim. You can move in there.
They have a
poker
shalom
and
club.
poker afternoon and poker ladies
Yeah.
and poker straight flush.
Look, there's multiple.
Dude, it's got to be at least 1,000 home community.
There's the Bourbon Cabernet Club. Or
Cabinet.
Cabinet. The Bourbon Cabinet Club, but there's also just the Bourbon Club.
That's what they hate each other.
Yeah.
I'm starting my own
No,
club.
it's the brewskis that are, oh, we don't want to hang out with those snobs at the
Oh,
Bourbon
Buckeye
Cabinet
Club. Look at that.
Yeah, look at that.
Low impact aerobic DVD club.
Yeah.
You got to be at least 80 to have a DVD player.
Yeah, I was going to say, who still has
Wait
a
a
DVD?
minute.
I have one. It's still
Oh
in
my
my living room.
God.
I haven't used it in like 5 years. My kids used to love going to the library and picking out DVDs, but that hasn't happened in so long.
So in the magazine, I don't know who Lisa is, but she was Crestwind's jewel. So someone wrote a poem for Lisa. And again, I'm not going to make you guys read the poem.
That's a long poem.
I can publish this on the website. We can finally do something with the website we have, Andres. But somebody wrote a whole poem to Lisa, whatever the hell her name
Freaking
is.
Lord Byron over here.
Yeah. And she's not dead, in case that's what you thought. She just moved somewhere. That's it. She was probably like, I got to get the hell out of this neighborhood. So Lisa moved, and she got a whole poem in the Crestwinds magazine.
Oh, you going to write me a poem?
Can we be
Yes.
sure that it wasn't taught by the AI club?
It could be ChatGPT.
There you go.
And then Andres, this is why I was haranguing you.
Oh,
over Tuesday.
this is what you saw. 5,000.
Yeah,
So
there you go.
now I'm gonna move slowly through this here. So the dues are $4,980 a year
Holy cow!
at Crestwind, but but it includes lawn care. So they do all the mowing, edging, pruning, and pine straw. And pine straw, I feel like that's a big one for every individual house. This includes residential trash collection and basic cable TV.
That's a good deal.
Yeah. They have security. So they have home security monitoring. And then obviously the amenity access, clubhouse, indoor, outdoor pools. They have a fitness center, tennis, pickleball courts, and a lifestyle program. This is where they do the classes. They've got directors, events. They have employees that work for them. So I did a quick little Excel spreadsheet, and I don't have it broken down here, but I added up what I pay for trash collection. I pay $200 a month for landscaping myself and, various other things on here. I'm paying $4,250 a year. So for, an extra $700 here, I could get all these other things and live in Crestwood. As I'm telling you, man, I threw this out a while back that we should just jack the dues up to whatever I said we should jack it up to, $3,000 or $4,000. We should do it and have all this taken care of. So we could live in a retirement community without being retired. Have I sold you? Should we all move to Crestwinds?
I'm good.
You know what? I didn't see a fantasy football club in the list. We could start that.
Well, you're not supposed to talk about it. That's why.
Ping pong club? Look at that. Tennis club. There's a kayak club. These guys are nuts over here. I mean, over here, we're paying $870 a year. Andres, you can't tell us a single person on the social committee.
I don't think we have one.
These guys have a 40-person traffic committee. Can you imagine having 40 people on a traffic committee and advertising in your magazine that you need more? I will throw this out there, Andres. Can we host a weekly trivia night?
That'd be fun.
Look, I've even got all the equipment.
That'd be good, yeah.
We could do this down at the clubhouse, weekly trivia.
Okay.
Certain people would show up and ruin it, though.
I don't know where you're getting at.
You know of who I speak.
Tim, do you have an idea?
I'm going to power through some of these if we're gonna get to any local news, because I actually really want to talk about this Amelia one, because I find
I'm going to tell you right now, none of us know what that means.
Amelia?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. That's why I want to talk about it.
But it seems like you feel like it's big news.
It's not big news. It's funny news, and I'm going to explain to you why it's funny. But I'm just going to take a quick second to talk about Atlas 3I. So when the aliens visit us, I can say that I did talk about this in the podcast. Put your hand up if you've heard of the Atlas 3I comet, or the interstellar object that is now in our solar system. Nobody, really?
The comet?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard of that.
You've heard of it, right?
That's the one that Kim Kardashian thought was going to invade us or something?
I don't know what you're talking about.
No, wasn't it just supposed to come dangerously close to colliding with us?
No. This one.
I'm thinking Armageddon.
Another great movie. This one is actually not really going to come close to us at all. It's gonna end round Jupiter, which is part of the story. So this Atlas 3I comet, it's an interstellar object. It's been tracked by NASA, but multiple private observatories. Is that what you would call them? Amateur space professionals. There's a very famous guy. He's an astronomer named Avi Loeb. This is a Harvard-educated cosmetologist, I guess you would call him. I don't know. What do you call them?
Cosmologist.
Cosmetologist.
Dude.
That'd be impressive.
He's a hairdresser. He does a little bit of space exploration on the side. He's a Harvard.
That would be impressive.
Then 3I would mean something completely different.
He's a Harvard-educated cosmologist, and I think he's also a professor there. He definitely at least was. I think he may still be. So I'm going to give you guys the 30-second version of this, and I'm going to tell you why it's gotten really weird lately. The 30-second version of this is that there is a comet that's entered our solar system, but it doesn't look and behave like a normal comet. It appears to be accelerating, which can happen with comets, but usually there's natural and physical reasons for the acceleration. They're not seeing it with this comet. But there also is a tail on the comet that is pointing the wrong way, which also apparently can happen on comets, but it very much looks like a thruster, like a controlled thrusting on there. So this cosmologist, part-time cosmetologist, Avi Loeb, has said hey, this meets some of the criteria for what we would look for if we thought that there might be a piloted craft coming into the solar system. I'm not saying that it is, but it's weird. There's some weird shit that we can't explain. Now, this goes back to I want to say September of last year, right? And as the months have gone by, none of the eccentricities of this comet have been cleared up, and new ones keep getting added, new anomalies. And there's a whole article, I can send this to you guys if you want to read into details, but there are now 18 unexplained anomalies about this comet where it very much looks like a piloted craft as opposed to, a comet. And this Avi Loeb guy back in November, there was an event that happened where it appeared to accelerate as it was getting close to Jupiter. And he's like, this is really weird because it looks like it's accelerating to hit something called the Hill sphere of Jupiter. Now, I am going to go a little bit into what the Hill sphere is because that's relevant. So the Hill sphere of any planet is that magic line where the gravity of the planet is stronger than the gravity of the sun, right? So if you were going to drop a satellite into orbit around a planet, you might target it in the Hill sphere, right? Because it will stay in orbit with the planet and not get pulled out by the sun. So the Hill sphere for Jupiter, I'm going to pull it up down here. The Hill sphere of Jupiter is 53.5 million kilometers from the planet's surface. The comet is currently on a trajectory to pass by Jupiter at a distance of 53.45 million kilometers. And you're like, okay, whatever. Crazy coincidence. But what's crazy about it is that the comet was not on pace to pass by Jupiter and hit the Hill sphere distance perfectly. The comet accelerated at a perfect rate so that it would hit the Hill sphere distance perfectly. And this happened back in November. And Avi Loeb was like, if this comet was accelerating to hit the Hill sphere of Jupiter, and he said in January, he's like, you'll see indications of the thrust changing to change its orientation on there. So now he is seeing indications that the thrust of the comet is changing. And I wish I had taken a picture of this. There are 3 jets that are coming out of the comet at this point, and they are almost perfectly equidistant from each other at 120 degrees separation. And in a modern man-made rocket, these would be the equivalent of stabilizers. So these would control the direction of the rocket, while the primary thruster would control the velocity of the rocket. So this Atlas 3I interstellar object now looks like it has stabilizers in addition to the tail that's pointing the wrong way, which would be perfect if it were a primary thruster. It accelerated to absolutely perfectly hit the Hill sphere distance of Jupiter, and that's just going to keep on going. So it's not coming close to us. What it looks like is happening, like the hypothesis, if you want to call it that, is it looks like an interstellar craft, if they wanted to drop monitoring satellites around Jupiter for whatever reason, I don't know, to monitor the atmosphere, the weather, maybe they're just scientists and they want to find some things out about Jupiter. If that's what they were and they were dropping satellites in Jupiter, this would be exactly how you would do it. The odds of this happening naturally now, Avi Loeb has got this article where he keeps track of it, the 18 anomalies. It's like 1 in billions that all these things could happen just naturally. So he's not calling it an alien object, but there's apparently 5 levels of classification of an interstellar object that looks like it's being intelligently piloted. And we're at stage 4 of 5 now, before Avi Loeb is like, yep, this is an alien spacecraft. So that's where we're at. So there's some more stuff that's supposed to happen later this week that he's tracking, and we'll get an update on this by the next podcast. But it's gotten very, very interesting with this Atlas 3I. And then that final paragraph that's on there. So there was a researcher that put in a FOIA request, Freedom of Information Act, to the CIA. Just said, hey, I want all documentation that you have about this Atlas 3I interstellar object. CIA typically in these sorts of requests just issues a response and says, we don't have any documentation for the CIA. We're not tracking comets that are, hundreds of millions of miles away from us.
Yeah, but why would the CIA do that?
Exactly. Why would they? So they did not send a reply back saying we don't have any documentation on it because it's not our purview. They sent something called a GLOMAR response. And the GLOMAR response is when they say that we will not confirm or deny that we have documentation about the subject that you're requesting. So what you guys will make of all that? Nothing. I mean, is it a comet? I don't know, I guess, probably. But now the coincidences are starting to absolutely stack on top of each other to the point where it's getting pretty difficult to explain it away naturally.
Yeah, it seems kind of dumb to check out Jupiter if it was an alien species. That's all gas.
Elon wants to go civilize Mars. Maybe they want Jupiter.
I know, but I'm saying it's a gaseous planet. You can't do anything on it. Right?
Yeah, I mean Jupiter is a gas giant, but I mean like if these are alien scientists that are doing research, I mean I'm sure we could send out artificial satellites to Jupiter to monitor temperature, atmosphere conditions, whatever. We would do it, right? Just for the educational value, the scientific value of it. So I mean I think that's kind of like I'm using the word theory extremely loosely here, but the explanation that looks rational is that these are alien scientists that are going out to Jupiter to drop off satellites to study it.
Where did you come across this?
This has been in all like the weird Twitter news for the second half of last year. And I mean, I've not been keeping up with it per se, but the algorithms where you click on something once and it's going to be in your feed for the rest of your life. So, I keep seeing minor updates on it. And when it's the random Twitter people I disregarded, but this guy Avi Loeb, who again he's like a Harvard professor, he either still is or he definitely was, and again a fantastic cosmetologist and cosmologist, and he posted an article update. I think it was 2 days ago. So when he actually posts something about it, that then I'll read it. I'm like, okay, is this legitimate? And I do my half-assed moron due diligence. I feed it through ChatGPT and Gemini, and I'm like, what do you think of this? And both the AIs were like, yeah, it's weird. It's really weird. So, I mean, like, a lot of times those AIs will like, yeah, it's odd, but here's what it most likely is. And Gemini in this one was just like, yeah, this is really, it's a hell of a coincidence.
Yes, Gronk.
I did not. I would ask Grok. I don't have Grok. It's $30 a month. It's expensive.
Send me the article. We have Grok at work. I'll run it through.
I will send it to you. And that's a good segue because my next story is related to Grok as well. But before we move on, or backwards as it is, to the Amelia story, what do you think, Andres? Aliens? Believe it?
No, I don't think so.
You don't think it's alien scientists?
No way.
If I send you
great claims require great evidence.
You're 100% right. If I send you the article, will you read it? Will you feed it through your chat GPTs?
Yeah. No, I'll just read it. It sounds interesting. And you said the guy, he's been teaching cosmology for decades. So yeah.
Yeah. This guy is he's not a crackpot.
Right.
He's legitimate. And I ignore if you go on Twitter or Reddit or anything, there are, hundreds of stories about this with theories, each crazier one from the next, and fake pictures of what is clearly like, AI generated UFOs, people trying to pass it off as real. Like, it's all bullshit. Right. So that's why I say when this guy Avi Loeb posts something, I'll read that. I know this guy is not a crackpot, and he's starting to be like, this is a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. Send it to me.
I will. I'll send it over to you. All right. So for our final trending topic, that's what I'm reading. We had when we first started this podcast, Andres, we had neighborhood news, local news, and national news. I'm always going to keep local news in here because that's the heart and soul.
I'm laughing at that second.
That's where BB Bagels is coming back in, because they're going to make their bagels with filthy Lake Lanier water instead of water trucked in.
Maybe that's what threw Matt off.
Yeah. Matt would swear that's the problem, is the Lake Lanier water. But hold on. No, and that's actually not where.
Wait, what is, hold on. Amelia, what is that?
That's where I'm coming to. So Amelia. I'm trying to think of the shortest path through this story. I'm going to ask a broad general question, and I'm actually curious to get one-on-one response to this. And I'm going to start with Tim, actually. We're going to go clockwise on this. Tim, what's your opinion on, I'll say, free speech and censorship, specifically in the United Kingdom?
In the United Kingdom?
Yeah.
What's my opinion? Meaning, how free do I think their speech is?
Based on what you've seen, do you think that they tend to crack down on the right things? Do you just a broad opinion? You don't have to get into a deep philosophical reckoning on it, but would you agree? Well, now I'm showing my hand, but I think they're a little over the top in their enforcement of free speech.
Leading the witness.
I am definitely leading the witness.
Yes, I mean, I would agree. And I feel like they've given a lot of voice, even more voice to the woke than we have here.
100%. I would 100% agree with that. And I think that now I'm going to go beyond even lead the witness. I'm going to say that they are given preferential treatment to, funnily enough, people I think are more restrictive voices like the Islamic community in the UK because of wokeness for fear of being offensive to their culture. So I think they prioritize the freedom of speech and expression of their immigrant community over their native community. That's my opinion. And we're going to come back to why I think that's relevant to the story. But Todd, what do you think?
Yeah, I would agree with that. I mean, but I think it's what you're like, where I get my information is X, right?
Yeah.
So, what I see on that platform is they're putting people in jail for, freedom of speech.
Yeah.
And they show the same 3 block. Some guy posted something critical. He's in jail. Some guy raped somebody.
Yeah.
They got probation. So is it true? I don't know. I mean, but the feeds keep coming.
Yeah.
Based on.
So actually, I'm going to ask, have you heard of Amelia yet?
I don't know if I've heard of it, but if something may jar me because.
Yeah, if you're on X, you've probably seen it. So I'll get to it in a second, but Andre, so what do you have an opinion on UK censorship, freedom of speech and expression?
I'm kind of the same. I feel like it seems like it's over the top, but I kind of agree with Todd. I don't know if it's statistically that's the truth or if it's just like anecdotal evidence of bad stuff going on. But yeah, they are. I know police are knocking on doors for
Twitter
racist posts. Yeah. But I don't know how prevalent it is. But I have heard that it's happening. But yeah, it's ridiculous. If that's regardless.
So I can't settle the statistics and the prevalence of the censorship going on in the UK. But what I can tell you to lend some weight that the government is a little over the top on things, the Hull City Council, Hull being a city in England, they commissioned a group called Shout Out UK. And Shout Out UK, they were asked to create a video game. And this video game was to educate the youth, the English youth, about the dangers of online radicalization in England and how if you go in places like X, that you might be exposed to untoward opinions and you need to be careful about what you're reading. So this game was released by Shout Out UK. And Amelia is a character in the game here. I'll expand it a little bit now. So we'll go into it. So the Hull City Council, I mentioned this, they're paid. Shout Out UK created this video game to highlight the dangers of radicalization of the English. So in the game, you play this guy named Charlie. That's the character. And funnily enough, you can choose to be a male or a female, but either character you choose is named Charlie, and they go by they them pronouns. And just little parts as I play through this game that made me laugh, like Charlie's parents. You played it? I played it, yes.
Oh, okay.
And actually, I have it loaded on my computer. If you guys would like a real time demo, we can go through. You can make your own choices because that's what the game is. You're exposed to sensitive situations online, and you make a choice about how you respond to it. But Charlie's parents, they them. They're not married. They live in separate parts of the UK. And Charlie gets put through a variety of scenarios that you, as the player, choose how to respond. So in the first, I'm only going to read this paragraph in full and then I'll explain what's going on. But in the first chapter of the game, there's 6 chapters. Charlie is playing an online game with his friends. And his friends point him to this online website. And I feel like, Todd, the website that they're clearly referring to is X. Like, be careful going on Twitter. You're going to see stuff that could radicalize you. So one of Charlie's friends says, hey, Charlie, download this video. As soon as the friend says to download the video, you get 3 choices that pop up on your screen. And one of them is you can just tell a friend, no, I'm not downloading it. The other one is you can ask your parents for more information. And the third one is just download the video and look at it. So the correct choice is obviously not to even download it in this case. But I chose my first time playing through it. I played through it multiple times. I wanted to see, choose my own adventure. But even if you choose the option that's like, I'm going to ask my parents for more information, the game gives you a screenshot that says even viewing certain content can lead to a terrorist offense conviction. That's the first, chapter boss in the game is this big warning that even looking at a video online could get you convicted of terrorism in the UK, which was nuts to me. So this is where Amelia comes in. Chapter 2 of the game, Charlie goes to college. And Charlie's hoping for, a great grade that he put on some project in there. He doesn't get a good grade. He gets like a 65 or something on there. And in the game, the teacher is praising this other student who got an 80 on the test and saying that this other student got job offers. And I'm like, this doesn't happen in college. Like, the teachers are not saying who got job offers, but whatever. But there's a character named Amelia in this second chapter of the game. And Amelia leans over and she does one of these numbers to Charlie. She like nudges him. She's like, look, the person that got the 80. And they've got brown skin and it's a female. And she's like, told you, the immigrants are stealing the English jobs. So that's how you get introduced to Amelia. And like, Amelia is supposed to be this personification of right-wing radicalization that you would see on Twitter. And basically, I'm not going to take you through the whole rest of the game, but like I said, we can play it if you want. But Amelia is like the bad influence on Charlie for the rest of the game. She's like, you should go to this protest. We're going to defend Britain and blah, blah, blah. But the funny thing about it is like, and this is all a cartoon game, but she's like an attractive, cute, like goth girl. She got this choker and purple hair. And she's supposed to be the villain of the game. And like I said, represent this right-wing boogeyman that the game is attempting to warn the English youth about. But what happens is like I say the people in England, but I think this is gone global now. People have like hijacked the movement and they've chosen Amelia because she represents generally some reasonable scenarios and thoughts in the game. What I think are reasonable, what I think reasonable people would think are reasonable. So they've used Grok, because Grok can now do the video generation function. And they've used Grok to bring this character to life. And they're doing like, hey, generate a video of Amelia to me in these various scenarios. So then you get down here and these are some of the videos. So now I will say, I got to talk to you about the prevent referral form. I'll go back to that. But this is Amelia. She doesn't look like this in the video game. This is a Grok AI generated video. Now I will actually warn our listeners and our guest and host tonight. I am not saying that I agree with everything you're about to hear in this video. I think this is a great idea in general, and I think they go a little bit too far in a couple spots. But this is how the I'll say that the folks, the people that are advocating for greater freedom of expression in England have hijacked the Amelia character, who's supposed to be the villain of this game, and used her for their movement.
Hi, I'm Amelia. I'm English, and I love England. I like having fish and chips and a pint at the local pub. I like Shakespeare and Dickens, Tolkien and Lewis, Harry Potter. I like pork sausage and dogs and fashion.
Haram! Haram!
But I don't like that. Brits are famously polite, but it mustn't mean we're willing to commit cultural suicide. Our institutions, the Church of England, the BBC, are a bunch of queers and nonces. How the bloody hell did we go from Churchill to you git? Sadiq Khan, the mayor? This is London, mate, not Afghanistan. Or Star Wars.
I'll get it, mate.
Our government won't even protect our schoolgirls from grooming gangs. Sod off, packy wankers! The police won't help. They're too busy confiscating garden tools and suppressing free speech.
That's right, miss. What have I done, officer? You've tweeted rudely, and you're under arrest.
Curry is fine, but we have several recipes already. We don't need 2 million Indians here to make it for us. There are 50 Islamic nations in the world. Muslims don't need to be on our island. They want to conquer it. The government says it must be this way. That doesn't make it right, does it, Robin Hood? These dragons that threaten our England won't go away unless brave knights rise up to slay them. Or did all the British bloodlines with any bollocks get killed off in World Wars I and II? Englishmen, it's your country and it's being taken from you. Chav, posh, doesn't matter. We're already all in this together. I don't want this to be the future of the women of England, and I'm sure the women of Iran and Afghanistan didn't want it either. Your ancestors beat the Spanish Armada, Napoleon, and the Nazis. Surely you can handle welfare tourists. History will record what you do or don't do. Get cracking, lads. Love, Amelia.
So that's it. So they've taken this Amelia character who's meant to be the villain of the game, and they've used AI to bring her to life. And now she's advocating for, some of these, like the queers and nonces. That's not, that's not a line in the script that I would have written. But I got to say, I absolutely love the idea of it. Like the reclamation. And I think it's actually tactically kind of a genius move. And I'll tell you why. Like, and Todd referenced it, and I see it, how prevalent it is, how frequently it's happened. I'm not educated enough to say for sure, but people are getting arrested for expressing what a lot of people I think would consider a pretty, routine, normal opinion, but it's being decreed that it's, racist or threatening or terroristic in nature. So people are afraid to speak out in the UK because the censorship laws are not in their favor.
Okay, this is out of my wheelhouse too, but I think to play semi-devil's advocate, Europe doesn't have the traditional free speech laws that we have. So they have hate speech laws.
Yeah.
Like you can't say the Holocaust wasn't real. So maybe that's what, maybe these little actions are getting magnified, but people really are saying hate stuff. I don't know. That's not about wheelhouse, but maybe that's what's happening.
Yeah, but you know what? Like, and you're right. They do have very different freedom of speech laws than we do. And yeah, denying the the legitimacy of the Holocaust is an arrestable offense over there. And I'll say two things very clearly. I think if you go out and you deny that the Holocaust was a real event, you're a fucking moron. But I also think you should be allowed to say it. People should be able to make their own judgment on the value of your statements. I don't think anybody should be arrested for that. Why are we going to get to a point where even bringing up an alternative point of view is an arrestable offense? If the point of view has no merit, let it stand on its own lack of merit out there. I don't think that there needs to be.
No, I agree, but I agree. I'm just saying they have different laws there.
But so, and the Holocaust is always an interesting example, right? Because like there's obviously mountains and mountains and mountains of evidence that it occurred, but people use that. I'm not saying you, Andres, but people use that as like, well, this is what the law was meant to protect against. But then it gets into things like simply saying like, hey, there are child grooming gangs that are in England right now. Yeah. That's something that can get you arrested if you tweet about that, right? Like just kind of acknowledging the existence or the purported existence, right? I'm not a prosecutor out there. But the reason I'm saying this is tactically genius, she's not real. There's no one to arrest. Anybody can go on Grok and make a video like this. This is very well produced. But anybody can go and do this, and they can express an opinion, and there's an AI avatar that's expressing it. There's nobody to imprison for it. So I think what you're going to see, I mean, like, look, this is it's funny, and it's kind of an interesting story about how this whole city council put out a game, and it's completely backfired on them. But this is going to be big. People using AI to express forbidden opinions going forward because there's not somebody to prosecute and hold accountable for it.
Just out of curiosity, why Hull City?
I don't know.
Are they known for? Is it like the Berkeley of the UK or something? Like,
no, not that I'm aware of. I mean, why? Because they had fucking funds to spend, right? And they funneled it to some stupid program like this. It was just misguided. I don't think there's any specific reason that it was Hull, but I mean, okay. This could be anywhere else. In this case, it was Hull though. So I saw this, and the reason I asked that if you'd heard of Amelia, if you're on X, like this was all over my Twitter feed, right? Going on there. And I saw this purple-haired girl dozens of times and scrolled past it before I'm like, what is the deal? And I looked into it, and I thought the story was hilarious. And this is, there's multiple videos. I have 3 on here. This one's only a couple seconds long.
You're upset about Grok putting women in bikinis on X, but not Muslims doing the same with burqas in real life.
Fair point. Amelia. This one kind of made me laugh too.
I don't see as many of these, but I imagine a lot of your stuff that you follow is English and whatnot.
Yeah.
I mean, I texted you when I hadn't heard in the pod. I texted, and I knew you were going over there to see the Liverpool game. Yeah. I was like, you all right? Do I need to bail you out of jail for saying Gainesville sucks?
I like this one. This steals a riff from the first video.
I'm here in Birmingham, England. Bloody hell, this is Birmingham?
So now I'll go back to the game for a quick second. Yeah, go ahead.
Those humongous sausages are pretty ridiculous. That's pretty funny.
Yeah, it's a comedy video. So I'm gonna go back to the game. There's 6 chapters. you get to make choices throughout the game, but no matter what choices you make, you end up in this prevent and channel program that they go there. So what is the prevent and channel program? The prevent and channel program is like if you suspect anybody you know in England has radical beliefs, whatever you define as radical beliefs,
Yeah.
you rat on them. And you fill in this form, which I downloaded the form here. And this form is designed to help articulate a concern under prevent, where you are worried a person is susceptible to radicalization. And look at some of the questions it asked you. Like your language, your religion, social media identifiers. They want to know your parent or guardian contact details. How and why did the person first come to your notice? What is the person's ideology or belief of concern? For example, extreme right-wing terrorism, Islamist terrorism, left-wing anarchist and single-issue terrorism. LACIT, that's the acronym they've got there. I could this form makes my skin crawl. That there's a form like this to like people that post untoward opinions on Twitter. You fill out a form like this and send it into this office, and then they come do an intervention with you. And that's what the game is meant to do, is to teach people, about the quote dangers of radicalization, and let people know about this prevent and channel program, so that if you've got friends that have, non-traditional right-wing opinions, whatever you call it, you go fill out this fucking form and rat them out to the government so they can come do an intervention for you. I think that's insane.
So scroll up a little bit. So you said right-wing terrorism. It also says left-wing there.
Yeah.
Is it just extreme both sides?
It's anything.
Because this gal, this is, it's hard to sort through this stuff when you see, social media posts and whatnot, or the news, and you're like, aren't 95% of us all on the same page and 5% are just completely bonkers?
I think so. Yeah.
And then you're like, but the bonker people are like,
they run the primary.
They're the louder ones.
Because this gal here, you're like, that's common sense. Like, yeah, you would pick her.
Yeah.
Based on common sense.
Yeah.
But they are making it out like it's almost 50-50.
Yeah. And if you're in the 50% wrong side, fill out this what is this? An 11-page form to let the government know your concerns.
Yeah, but this is an extreme example, but rein that in. We know full well that there's people in this neighborhood that would be filling this out.
Yeah.
Right and left.
No, I agree with you. This is England, man. This is where America came from. This is my home country. It's crazy to me that it's like this over there.
Is this gotten worse?
But you say it's over there. Like, I got to tell you, and again, I'm not the expert because I'm not out there, but it would seem to me that minimally there are pockets, if you don't want to indict the entire state of California, that I think is just a few years away from something like this.
I think that this zeitgeist is a large reason why Donald Trump is the president. And I say that I think this is America not wanting to become Europe. And look, I've said it on this podcast. You guys all know this personally. I don't like Donald Trump. I am not a Donald Trump fan. But I do think that his win in the last presidential election was significantly influenced by what's happening in Europe and Americans being like, I do not want to be like France, like Germany, like England, the way they're going.
But sorry, just to reel it back, talk about this form specifically, but it's even saying any kind of terror, like Islamist terrorism. It's not saying, like, it's not pointing out you can only, it's not saying like, oh, are you saying something bad about queer people?
Yeah.
It's anything.
No, it is. I mean, the form is ostensibly for anything to be filled out, right? Now,
Right.
Contextually, what you see people getting arrested and prosecuted for are effectively only what you consider like the right-wing views, which in England are not even what we in America would consider right-wing views. And the video game that links to this forum, just says fill out this form, it's only talking about right-wing terrorism in there, right? Or right-wing extremism, what it is. So, like, to me...
that's because it's a propaganda campaign.
Well, exactly. It is a propaganda campaign. And to me, the context of this entire, this entire game, this entire conversation is like, sure, you got to put everything, Islamist terrorism, left-wing, lace it. The first time I've ever heard that acronym.
To be honest, I'm surprised communism isn't like a like usually that's like the old school one.
So sure, like could you fill out this form for anybody? Yeah, I guess you could. And I don't know if there's anything why I doubt that you could actually request this form anyway. But I think to me, to me, it's clear what the context of this is and who is meant to be reported on a form like this. And I think the, if you want to call it the Overton window or whatever, or the globalization of politics and identity has been happening for so long. And America has been shifting to a more European model. A lot of things, it starts with like the gay marriage and things like that, which I'm completely okay with. But I think the last, if you want to call it 4 to 6 years or whatever, there's been an acceleration of what Americans have been told to accept as normal. And like, look, I'll go into one specific topic, right? And I consider myself a middle of the road, nonpartisan person. But one of the things that the Democrats have rallied for the last couple of years that I think is insane, that I think also contributed to them losing the election and losing mind share in American politics, trans women, and I'm not trying to be offensive.
Trans people in sports specifically?
Yes. Genetic males in women's sports.
Yeah.
Right? It is clear to anybody with a half a brain that they have a genetic advantage. So why are we advocating for this?
I don't think, maybe a lot of radicals were, but
No, dude, it was not radicals. This is Kamala Harris. This was our presidential candidate. That's what I'm talking about.
Well, she was pandering. On that one video, she was pandering. She knows better. And all the courts struck that down. Like, there's no, like the
courts
case,
have not struck it down.
The case was the Supreme Court, the West Virginia, Idaho case.
It's in the Supreme Court right now. They haven't ruled on it. I think they will strike it down.
Yeah.
But it's in the Supreme Court right now, and they haven't ruled on it. And the Democrats, I can tell you right now, you can see it in Twitter by how they're acting now. Okay. They are backing off of it because it's not popular. But as somebody who considers himself a left-leaning person, I guess, whatever, to say that our side has not advocated considerably for trans women and trans women in women's sports would be disingenuous. The Democrats absolutely have been advocating for that position, and it's killed them.
Okay.
Feels like to me, all right, I lean right, but I agree with you, kind of moderate, middle, nonpartisan. To me, like that point, I don't even consider that, right? To me, it's a non-issue. So to me, it feels like if you're a moderate Democrat, it feels like you're head right, and they're grasping for the lowest common denominator. Like a lot of moderate Democrats are just like, this is crazy.
It is crazy.
Like we got it, like you've crossed the line. You just can't support some of that stuff. So, and so, trans rights, illegals, all this DEI stuff. It's like, nobody supports that. Like that's got to be such a small minority, despite what we see every day. But it's like, that is bananas. Yep. Like, and so you've got all these moderate Democrats that are like, what is going on with our party? Like, that's how I would see it. From my standpoint, I'm kind of like business as usual.
Yeah.
Well, get the woke alarm ready.
Hold on. Let me unlock my phone.
No, I mean, look, I get what you're saying, and I've watched a ton of Bill Maher, and I think he's trying to call out to the Democratic Party, like, this is why you lost it.
Yeah.
But I don't know that the party is listening yet. And I'm going to go out to Gavin Newsom and say, here's a guy that is supporting reparations, slave reparations. And the analogy that I listened to the other day was, we're going to pay reparations to African Americans that weren't slaves. It's going to be paid by people that didn't own slaves, driven in a state that didn't have slavery. So, like, if that's your head of your Democratic Party and the presumed presidential presumed candidate in another 2 years, I don't know that they're listening to the message of coming to the center.
I will challenge you on that. Because I think I know what you're talking about, but I don't think it's Gavin Newsom supporting that. I think it's some random, complete fucking lunatic in San Francisco. I don't think it's Newsom. I could be wrong. I would have to do more.
I thought he endorsed that program. I mean, you're right. It did originate in San Francisco, but I don't know.
I mean, my in-laws live in California, right? And as long as I've known them, hardcore Democrats, and probably last 10 years shifted now under Gavin, like disaster out there. Like they are so far, they're more right than I am. And I'm not, I mean, they're not radical right or far, but I mean, I remember listening to them when we were young and all these, right? When the world was normal. You weren't, the Democrats and Republicans weren't that different. You know, and you could agree with one part of somebody's party and maybe not, but it wasn't like you were going to go totally with the Republican platform or right? You're going to pick and choose a little bit, but you might lean one way or the other. But they're out there with Gavin. It's crazy what's going on out there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, I don't know. Bill Maher's an example of what I would say is like you're watching this stuff and you're like, okay, he gets it.
Yeah.
This guy is hardcore Democrat, anti-Trump, sat down with Trump, right? Didn't agree with him, but at least met with him. We'll do it again, had dinner with him, whatever it was. But you're seeing more Joe Rogan, all these guys are like, what's going on with this party? It's crazy.
Yeah, and Joe Rogan's another one. And look, Joe Rogan, I'm split on him a little bit because Joe Rogan, if you go, I don't know, 3-4 years ago, I think he was one of the most gifted natural interviewers and charming and entertaining people like in media, to be honest with you. This is going back like 4 years ago. I thought he was absolutely wonderful. I listen to his podcast a lot. He's very intelligent, but like he's got a critical quality where he's not afraid to ask stupid questions. And a lot of like interviewers or hosts or things like that are afraid to ask stupid questions. I'm not afraid to ask stupid questions either. But Joe Rogan was good about it. He was funny. You know, he had a sense of humor and he was charming. Now, what I will say that I feel like Joe Rogan has done over the last couple of years, he's leaning too far into the right thing. Like I feel like Joe Rogan was the middle of the road. You know, he agreed with some liberal policies and some conservative policies, but he was a good, you know, a well-intended person that just believed in good common sense. I feel like he's starting to change a little bit and be a little bit more of like almost like a character instead of just himself. But I don't know. Yeah.
Are you basing that on recent listens?
I haven't listened.
I would tell you that over the past month and a half, far more critical of Trump, far more critical of some of the stuff that the Republican Party is doing now. And I feel he turned to the Republican side because he was so frustrated with everything on the Democratic side. I mean, he's like you, man. If Bernie would just get his name out there, he's all over Bernie. But there's just been a lot more criticism of a lot of, you know, he wanted Trump because of the no war thing, and we seem to be poking at every beast to go start a war somewhere.
Yeah. No, I haven't listened in probably a couple months now. Now I'm going to have to get back into it because when he's being intellectually honest in himself, I think he's amazing. I think he's one of the best media personalities on earth.
You got the bullseye on him to be podcast king.
Oh, that's going to be my life goal. I want to be on the Joe Rogan show. We're going to trade podcast.
That'd be crazy.
Yeah, he's the guy that you don't know who the guest is. You don't know the name and you listen and you're like, man, that was interesting.
Yeah.
Like that's,
exactly. that's what really got me into him a few years back. Is the same thing. I'm like, who's this random MMA guy, or who is this random comic I've never heard of, or who's this random Harvard scientist that he would have on? Just like the smorgasbord of different people he would have on a show, and like the level of engagement with the conversation, it was amazing. He was so good, and he was such a good interviewer. Shows are always entertaining, and yeah, I loved him. He was when he was at the top of his game, he was untouchable.
Tucker Carlson, I came across one of his, and I know people kind of tuned out of him, but he put you on this because you seem like you'll dig deep into it. You guys watch him at all?
I have. He's an actor. He's 100% playing a role, but yeah, I've seen him. Yeah.
If you can get through that, so he did the interview with Sam Altman, which was good.
That was a good interview.
Yeah. You accused me of murder like that, but he did. Did you see the one where he talked to the guy about the jet streams?
No, I haven't seen this one.
We all have ideas of what
chemtrails.
Yeah, like what is this? So I just listened to this guy. It was similar to Rogan. Didn't know who the guy was. He starts talking. You're like, oh my gosh, this guy might be the smartest person on the planet. And he describes in detail what these things are, and 100% believable. And it was super interesting. You need to check it out because you'll dig deeper than I did. I was like, oh, okay, that's what it is then. This guy, like, you can't even understand how smart this guy is. But yeah, he talks about all the stuff in Wikipedia and super interesting, but I didn't know who it was. I clicked on and I'm like, I got sucked in. It's like a long form podcast. So this guy just goes into the science behind it and all the conspiracy theories behind it and what exactly it is. And it's crazy.
I'll try to find it, but if you got a link, send it over to me and I'll check it out. I'll give it a listen.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Did I cover Amelia and the crisis in the UK? You guys feel like you understand what's going on there now?
Yes.
All right. So I think we've actually gotten through all of our trending topics because we went to Atlas 3i. So we'll do a brief hit on the local news. So real quick, we get a new park at the Polo Fields. Andres, you'll know about
I saw
this.
that layout. It looks so good.
It does. It looks
really nice.
So this is going to be right off Post Road, if you guys hadn't seen this, across from Vickery Village.
We know Polo Fields.
Mm-hmm.
So
we had a guy, I don't know how long he's been playing there. So we rented it. So we have a property that juts right behind Polo Fields. Like we managed it. And there was a neighbor there, old guy. And was just always in our tenant's business, like always. And random story. The shrubs that kind of grow around those green electrical boxes.
Yeah.
Right. City said, hey, you got to get rid of those. So we sent a guy out. They cut it. Okay. The box is in the middle of the yard. So we cut the whole box, and the other side happened to be the vendor hit this other guy's. And so he's like, I don't want those out of there. And we were like, well, the city told the vendor, this guy. Anyways, the guy files a criminal trespassing, complaint against some guy in our office who's never been to the property. It was just some random vendor. So that's how we were introduced to this guy. But I don't know if you know the history of the Polo Fields. This guy was the guy that dug in and prohibited them from, so maybe something happened, building lights and putting permanent lights up and
I've heard about that getting denied. Yeah.
This is that guy.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Yeah, he was our neighbor.
Wow. Well, he must have died.
Karma.
Because they're doing it. We're getting an amphitheater there, 8 pickleball courts. There were 6 multi-purpose fields, 2 playgrounds. One was going to be like a 3 to 5, and the other one was going to be like 7 or 3 to 7 and 7 to 12 or whatever. There'll be a community building where you can, rent rooms and things like that. And I wrote a food court plaza, but I meant a food truck plaza on this. So there's going to be a big parking area where the food trucks can come in and park. So at this link, there's a map of it. Pull it up real quick. I think I've got it. Yeah, there you go. So I know this is not the easiest thing to see, but these are the multi-purpose fields. You got your big community building back here, a couple parks. Looks like you got a baseball field. So that's going to be...
That's the amphitheater.
That's right. Good call. Amphitheater. So there's Majors Post. That's going to be a pretty sweet spot. So again, Andres, I know we've talked about this in previous podcasts. Our kids are never affording to live here.
I should probably know this, but so is that Vickery Buildings right above the Lowe's Design? Right where your cursor was. Is that Vickery?
This is Vickery.
On the left side is Vickery.
Yeah. This is Vickery. Here's Majors Road. So the Lifetime Fitness is right over here.
Gotcha.
And then over here, this is all Polo.
Our guy was right on the right,
Like this area?
further over right, like behind those hedges. Yeah, right down in
Right
there.
there.
Did they ever put lights up in there?
No,
No.
They're
just the
temporary.
portable ones. Yeah.
It's so stupid.
So that's the new park at the Polo Fields. This was actually, I'm gonna tell you this. I'm not gonna go into it, but I would encourage you guys. I'll send you the story if you can't read it. So Forsyth County, I jokingly said Forsyth County can now drink filthy water from the lake. I went down a rabbit hole in this. This is a 30-year-long legal battle that we've had with the states of Alabama and Florida about not being able to use Lake Lanier for drinking water. A couple of the highlights, this is going to cost Forsyth County $192 million to build this facility to pull water from the lake and treat it and then pipe it into other treatment facilities. But we just now got actually, I shouldn't say we just now got approved to do it. In 2021, we won a legal battle that said that we could use Lake Lanier as a source of drinking water. But this goes all the way back to 1990. Alabama sued Georgia from using Lake Lanier as a source of drinking water because the lake was originally created for navigation and hydropower. Now, the reason Alabama gives a shit is because they're relying on the Chattahoochee River to generate hydroelectric power for the region. And if we're going to drink water from Lake Lanier, we're going to backfill from the Hooch, which is going to slow down the speed of the Hooch, which is going to generate less hydroelectric power. And that's going to affect Alabama's power generation capacity and business. Florida cares because they have an oyster population down there in this Apalachicola. I guess that's how that's pronounced. So Apalachicola Bay requires fresh water so that the oysters can I guess, breed and reproduce in this Apalachicola Bay. And if they don't get river from downstream sources, the water gets too salty and the oysters die. Other, I guess, oyster predators start eating the oysters. And this is big business for Florida. So in 2009, there was this was a state Supreme Court ruled that Georgia had 3 years to find an alternative water source. That ruling was overturned. In 2013, Florida sued Georgia in the U.S. Supreme Court. And then in 2021, that was resolved. It was unanimous. We do have the right to drink our own water. So I'll just tell you this. I won't harp on this too long, but it was actually kind of an interesting story. Found a bunch of articles. There's even whole YouTube videos about this. This was called the Tri-State Water Wars. And it was all involving us in Florida and Alabama. So if you guys get bored and have 30 minutes of your day, I would encourage you to go Google it. But we will shortly be drinking water directly from Lake Lanier.
Is this in reference to the musty smell lately?
So the musty smell is related to algae blooms in Lake Lanier. So this is not related to that. This has nothing to do with it. But it's the time of year. There's a certain algae that blooms in Lake Lanier. And even though the water gets treated, it affects the taste and the coloration of it.
We had a mini revolt at work. They insisted we buy a new refrigerator because the filter wasn't working.
Yeah, it wasn't your fridge.
Yeah, we didn't buy a new fridge.
It was the City of Cummings fridge. Their filter is
We bought
faulty.
Costco water.
So that's the water from the lake. That was that story. So this one, I thought that was kind of funny. Peyton Wesley Roper, 47. He was charged with second-degree home invasion and second-degree criminal damage to property. Can I open the story here? Let's see here. That's him. There's old Peyton Wesley Roper.
If I was scanning fast, I would have thought that was Nate Burgoski.
That does kind of look like him, actually.
Or that cop show, Reno.
I know what you're
911.
talking about. Yeah, Reno 911. Yeah. So Peyton, Mr. Peyton Wesley Roper, he broke into a home just before 2 a.m. on Saturday, December 20th. A 75-year-old woman called 911 to report an unknown male roaming her home. And when deputies arrived, they found a man yelling and trying to kick in the front door, the report states. Officers did order the man to ground at gunpoint. They handcuffed him. The man attempted to struggle and repeatedly referred to himself as a sheriff's deputy and a detective, the report states. And the homeowner told deputies that Roper had yelled and entered her bedroom while her husband, who has dementia, so that's kind of sad, was asleep. Roper does live on the same street as the couple's home. He's only 1/10 of a mile away, but the woman did not know him, as she told deputies. And here's crazy. A yellow-handled axe was later found in the kitchen, lying next to the refrigerator. Homeowner said nothing was stolen, but several things were damaged. And the dude left his dog in the car while he was doing it. And he has a roommate. This 47-year-old guy has a roommate. That's always an interesting situation. But the roommate came and picked up the dog, so don't worry about the dog. He is all right. And Mr. Roper was still in jail when this article was written. But like I said, I'm a little behind on the Forsyth County News, so he might be out now.
So this really happened to us a couple weeks ago at Platinum. Yeah, randomly, guy comes in. You know where my office is. I can hear the front. That's part of the reason I walk out. But randomly walks in, and I hear the gal up front say, "Hey, I'm gonna need you to take off that mask," and like a COVID mask.
Yeah.
And so he starts talking, and I'm like, kind of half paying attention, but I'm like, that just doesn't sound right. Like, so I walk up there. It's not a COVID mask. It's a gorilla mask, like a full on. And so he's taking it off and he's holding it. And we start talking to him, and he's impaired. Like, he's in a bad place. And he's wearing a bright yellow hoodie, like jacket. Gorilla mask, like old-timey, dumb plastic gorilla mask. And so he's like,
How old was this guy around about? What do you think?
probably 28.
Okay. The younger side then, yeah.
Yeah. So I size him up, and I'm like, I can take this guy. But he worked for the FBI. I work for the FBI. That's why. So I'm like, okay, where are you headed? He's like, do you guys have any masks? And I'm like a COVID mask? And he's like, well, just something, like a mask. And I'm like, I don't have any masks, but I have a hat. You want a hat?
What time of day is this?
This was like 4 p.m. Yeah, it was normal. And so I had a random hat that a vendor gave us. And so I give it to him, and he's like, whoa, wow, great hat. Like, you sure? Like, this looks really expensive. Okay, it was like something I would bring you guys. So I'm like, you're good. And I'm like, where are you headed? And he's like, I'm not on drugs.
You should have sent her to Reset Roofing. That could be the opening salvo. Right?
So I go, of course not. Like, no, he goes, I'm going to take a drug test at the courthouse. He's like, but I'm not on drugs. And I'm like, of course not. You wouldn't be on drugs if you're walking out of the courthouse. Meanwhile, another guy walks down, Dan, who overhears this. So he's kind of providing a little bit more backup. And so we're talking to the guy, and we have cameras in Platinum, right? So I'm kind of just making sure. So I go back in the corner where our IT closet is, and I can see, okay, this guy's squared up on the camera if I need that. And Dan and I get him outside. He's just rambling, and he gets out, and he's like, this isn't even a good hat. Like, I don't even like this hat. And like, we're like, oh yeah, no, it's, but it, if you don't want to, just throw it away or donate it. And, but he's holding this mask. Okay. And then right before we get him outside, a cop car flies by, right? And there's a bus stop right across the street from us. So there's a bus with cars, and this cop flies by heading this way in the left lane. So he's in a hurry. He's like making sure he's got the 6 sirens on and the lights. So he's cutting into the wrong lane. And then we're talking to him, and I'm like, in my head, I'm thinking,
is he turning his face?
Yeah, like the guy's wearing a mask. He comes in here. And so 2 seconds later, like 3 cars, like all cops.
Oh, that was probably the day they came here.
Oh yeah, you could be right.
We had
actually,
like 12 cop cars flying here.
So it was like over the holidays, because we were short staffed. So it must have been like a Thursday or Friday, maybe after Christmas. And then, so we get him on his way, and he heads down, and I call Reset, and I'm like, hey, just FYI, there's a guy headed your way. Let me know. And I called, and he didn't answer. Martin is his name. So then I called the police, and I just said, hey, just want to report something a little goofy, like not sure, but like this guy came in, and right as he did, he was wearing a mask. He's wearing a monkey mask with a bright yellow coat, and like 4 police cars. I'm right on Kelly Mill. So she knew exactly. She's like, okay. She's like, I've got a deputy in here. Do you need to talk to him? I said, no, I just want to report it in case something happens. I said, we have the guy on camera, but he just left, and he's headed downtown to the courthouse, he said, but whatever. And she's like, okay, we'll make a note, and we'll send somebody to do some kind of, pass by. But yeah, then I called Martin, later he pings me back. He's like, "What's up?" And I said, "Hey, did some guy come into your office with a mask and a monkey suit?" And he's like, "No," but we're like, "What's the deal?" And I just explained to him. He's like, "That's really weird." And so
Yes, it is, Martin.
yeah, so we have a camera on the porch. So I just tag like, the girls were fine, but they were, you never want something goofy like that to happen. So,
Yeah.
And it's rare that it does. But I put a little thing on the window like you would for porch pirates, like smile, you're on camera typically. Yeah. And then, it must have been a Thursday or Friday because I was at work on Saturday, and I'm standing out in the parking lot, and this guy, I see him. Right. If you know our building, there's that little white house as you're kind of making that turn right about to see ours. I was like, same yellow jacket. And I just told my buddy who was there what happened. I was like, that's the guy. That's the gorilla guy. And like walks up, kind of like sizing up the building. Now my buddy, he's for sure carrying, he's got for sure guns in his truck. And he's like, so he's kind of like angling like if there's something going to happen. But it was crazy. So I see the guy all the time now, though.
Wow.
Are we still around?
Yeah, it's a bright yellow hoodie. I recognize the hat because it's a vendor hat that we gave him. And and I told the police, I said,
even after bitching about the hat, he kept it, huh?
He kept it. And I was like, and I told the police, I was like, he said not for nothing. I knew obviously he doesn't work for the FBI, but he said he worked for the FBI. That didn't really move the needle with them. So I don't know whatever happened, but I still see him up and down Kelly Mill.
I mean, you got to just like I said, go back, reset roofing, prank wars. Next time you see him, like, hey, the
I told him to go look, man. They have bananas.
And so I said to him, I said, hey, like, kind of like, hey, they may have a mask or something like that. And then I was going to call Martin and say, hey, don't answer the door. I was just trying to get him off the property. But like when those cop cars flew by, I was like, and it was so weird because so he comes in, I see him walking up our front steps wearing the mask. And she's in the second office, so the receptionist wasn't even there.
Yeah.
The bell on the door said, come out. But he's standing there, and it looks like something out of a horror movie. He's this gorilla standing in our lobby, just like perfectly still. Like,
yeah, that's creepy as shit.
Yeah, it was weird.
I'm going to be on the lookout for that on Kelly Mill, the yellow.
Yeah, yellow jacket, probably late 20s Hispanic guy.
I'm going to be on the lookout.
Because they always pick walnuts in our yard.
Probably the most paranormal thing that's ever happened at Platinum Property.
Yeah, gorilla.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to use that. No ghost, but we've had a gorilla in here.
All right. That was the drunk man claiming to be a detective.
I almost did that tonight coming here because I got your address.
I'm sorry I missed your text, by the way.
I got it as a saved, but I also have the ones we manage as saved when we do property visits. So I was like, I'm going to roll because they're
two doors down.
Yeah. I'm like, I'm going to roll up in the wrong house and be like, oh, sorry, your inspection's not for another couple of weeks.
You're good, Chris. And you guys remember Roxy Moxie, the place that was busted for fraud, selling counterfeit items in, what was it, City Center? Isn't that where they had it? So they're done. They were $30,000 back on rent that they didn't pay. So they've been evicted from the City Center. But I was looking through this and I found the lady who runs Roxy Moxie. Her name is Lauren Reyes. And I found this famous Facebook group that she runs. It's called like Roxy Moxie VIP or whatever. Now she's got like an army of supporters on Facebook. And this is where I'm going to be. I know you're not supposed to judge a book by her cover, but this lady was absolutely selling fraudulent items at the City Center. I just saw this picture. That's the owner. That's Lauren Reyes. And I'm like, yep. You look like you'd be selling counterfeit items.
I'm going to disagree with you.
Yeah?
She seems on the up and up.
You think?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But don't they have a store at the outlets?
Yeah, they've got one in Dawsonville too. This was a Facebook post I found about her. This was after the news broke in Forsyth County News that she and her husband had been arrested for selling the counterfeit items. And I'll send this to you, but it's basically bitching about people reporting on her being a criminal. And she throws in the little live, laugh, love at the end there. You'll love that.
And make it your bitch.
Yeah. She seems like a real one. But I'll tell you what's funny about Stacy Wright. I know Stacy Wright.
600.
Jeff,
that's 600
runs. That's pretty good.
This lady has an army of followers whenever there's like a negative post, or not even a negative post, whenever there's a factual post about the facts of the situation with Roxy Moxie, be it on Forsyth County News or the Forsyth County Sheriff's page, they all get to hundreds of comments, and it's her little Facebook army going in and saying that like the story's fake and they're not reporting the facts, and why don't they just move on to something else? It's crazy.
Well,
But
she wrote her own little tirade against
Forsyth News.
Yeah.
Yeah, she seems like a real winner. And then I promised you guys BB's would come back in today's notes. And of course, the Roxy Moxie criminal is supporting BB's Bagels. Of course. Of course they know each other and are friends. So this is a BB's Bagels shirt that she made.
This is perfect for you.
I saw this post on her Facebook. I really was like, of course, the Roxy Moxie fraudster is a BB's fan, because what else would they be? So our final story, and then we can wrap it up. Let me minimize this one here. I don't know. Did you guys see the story in Forsyth News about the guy that fired a bunch of shots into an apartment complex over by the Tyson's chicken plant?
No.
Anyway, the short version of the story is this guy was probably intoxicated, shot his gun a bunch of times, was arrested with that incident. Nobody was injured. So it's a good story. Anytime nobody's injured, I like those Forsyth News stories because you can have a laugh about it. I always avoid, there were 3 or 4 stories about sexual battery and child molestation. And I'm like, there's nothing funny about these ones. But this one's all right. He shot up his apartment and nobody was hurt. And he claimed when the cops got there to arrest him, one of the quotes was, his family was infected by a virus and there was nothing he could do to save them. But he was the only guy in the apartment. There was no family there. Like nothing. This guy was just hallucinating as far as I can tell from the report. So he was arrested, taken to jail, and hopefully he's getting the help that he needs. Again, nobody injured, so we can have a laugh. It's like the plot of The Last of Us. And that's it. We got through everything, guys. Now that was another barnstormer. It ended up being 3 hours.
That's another record.
But no, that's not a record.
Yes, it is. Oh, easily 3.5 hours.
I think we've had multiple Brian Fagan shows more than 3 hours.
He's only been on once.
I think he's been on twice.
And I know Todd's just hoping it actually gets aired this time.
My mother.
I will have this out for Joanne. Fuck all you guys. But for Joanne.
Added that part for Joanne.
I will have this out prior to Winter Storm 2026.
If you could get it to us for the weekend.
So we have something to listen to.
Yep.
I'm telling you right now, I'm calling in sick to work. I'm joking about that. I will have this out, released on the air no later than Thursday night.
Okay.
Book it.
That's
there's
because
not
we
much
didn't take
editing.
a lot of editing.
Yeah, there's not much editing.
Yeah,
I feel like it was smooth.
This was a good flow. You guys are the best guest. You really
Yeah,
are.
we did the clap thing. I lost my soundboard.
You are my favorite guest. Let's see.
Why are you gay?
All right, John. Appreciate you having us.
I actually thought
Back-to-back
you would
champ.
say that Franco was one of your best guests.
No.
I've choked a lot of my life.
When I got the email, I was like, I remind me who sent me the email.
What email?
What email are you talking about?
Hey, do you want to sponsor these jokers?
Oh, that was TJ Cone.
Okay, so I was like, legit. I was like, let me listen to a few, but we'll sponsor anybody.
You still haven't met TJ, right?
Yeah,
Did you meet him?
He would have met him at the draft party.
and TJ has come by he's come by watch a Bills game. Like this is
No, that was JT, I think.
Oh, JT. No, so the draft party, yeah.
Yeah, my bad.
So I listened to it, probably all of them at the time. So at the draft party, I was listening. The voices, like your voice didn't match you. Like the Jets jersey, his voice matched him.
Yeah.
And then the guy with the properties,
Brian Fagan. Yeah.
I thought he was Asian. For what it's worth.
Clip that.
So
That is 100% getting clipped.
And there's been some guys that the guy with the bonus points and like the stuff he does for like coupons and stuff.
Oh, Robbie.
Oh, Robbie Johnston.
Yeah, like he matched up pretty well.
Yeah.
But because I remember hearing his, and I was like, because I remember you, I think saying we got to get you on to explain all this stuff at some point because he went into that a little bit. But yeah, it was funny to see the people and to see if they matched up with. My mom said you two matched up.
I think that's good.
Yes, I'll say that.
Yeah, she was super excited. I must have said something about my childhood that spooked her or something. I don't remember what we talked about.
Well, Joanne, we love you. We're dedicating the show to you. Hopefully you will enjoy this, and hopefully we'll see you soon at 212 Kelly Mill Road, Platinum Property.
Brian Fagan as a Korean is just
Asian.
Yeah, whatever. Maybe Japanese. I don't know. That's awesome.
I'm going to have Grok Photoshop him.
Yes.
But that's not a bad thing, right? Because
it's just hilarious. He's the whitest dude in the world.
But you didn't match yours.
It's one of those things though. Like I have never thought that, but now that you said that, I can absolutely hear it.
Yeah. Now you got to re-listen to it.
Yeah.
Or think about it. I know he's got property, so I don't want to turn him off to.
No, he's good. He's good.
Speaking of properties, Todd, the clock's ticking. You got till what? September. Buy a house in Thorngate, and you're in the league, man. You got the preferential treatment. Find one. Got a couple good houses in here.
Mm-hmm.
All right, cool. Well, let's wrap it up. Tim, thank you very much for being here, sir.
Appreciate it.
Always good to see you. I'm looking forward to your Zumba dance, sir, in a couple of months.
Yep.
Todd, thank you as always for coming by.
Yeah, for sure.
Andres, good to see you again, my friend. Let's keep the pace going. Let's get back into it.
Yep. Sounds good.
And just be forewarned, he's already extended an invitation through me to Dana to do an upcoming episode.
Yeah, she's not on the social committee. So.
Wait. And can you repeat that? Extension of invitation to through who? What?
Dana will be on the show.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
As long as you're good with it.
Yeah, that's very good.
Did you say you?
That's very good.
All right, we're signing out. That's it for the Wrong Way Roundabouts.
See ya.
Till next time.
Yeah.
Turn right, turn left, who gives a when it's just a circle, you can't go the wrong way. See my boys at the pool get in the back. Off to G.O.D, never gonna pay the tab. I'm gonna need that money, cause league fees up again. But it ain't gonna matter, cause I plan to win. Ain't trying to place last, don't need the fail. Or I'm stepping in the ring with my boy Chainmail. That's how we do when you drive the wrong way. In the roundabouts every single day.